is 8 wins is a playoff spot. I don't care what nobody say. You get 8 wins, you in.
I think somebody gonna get in with 7. That's what I'm gonna say. I think somebody gonna get.
But that still goes to say what I'm saying. 8 wins is you guaranteed to in. That still doesn't dispute that. If somebody get in with
No,
7, you got 8, you locked.
you said nobody is gonna get in that
With
has
8 losses. 8 losses.
a
That's what I
loss.
said. 8 losses. Yeah, no one's getting in with 8 losses. I'm standing on that. I'm gonna stamp that.
You know what? So he's saying a 6-8 team is not getting in. Mhm.
Ain't no under 500 getting in our league playoffs. I don't believe it. Somebody got to show me something different
Well,
for
I
me to
mean,
believe.
but see, you say you don't do your homework. Well, I do. I go
No, I
and
said
look.
I don't do homework on you right
I
now
go.
because I don't
I
have
go.
to.
I go and look at everybody's schedule going forward, who they playing. I go and look at all of that shit. And what I'm saying is, when I gave you those people that I gave you, who I feel like they gonna make it. I feel like that rule as a type of, and all of that is based off of health. That them 4 teams that I had said it's all based off health. With the type of team that Rule got, Rule can average 160 every week because them top players that he got, Bijan, Javante Williams, done shown to be that. I'm saying them players right there, Drake May, because of the way he run and he passed, those type of players gonna always put up numbers. So I'm saying when I look at the other rest of the landscape, for instance, the MMTs, Bread Hunter, uh, 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 I, I want to kind of say NBK. I feel like NBK is standing tall on what Christian McCaffrey give them because Justin Jefferson still haven't came around like when you see Jamar Chase, the shit he doing even with the quarterback he got. So
Mm-hmm.
and I told people that I felt that Chase was the best receiver in the league, but people always wanted to say, nah, they think Jefferson is. And I just always stuck with Chase though. And to me, it's proven out right here when you see they both have similar quarterbacks, but one can just still be a dog and the other one can't. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is, but I just think that he got the better players on the top end to be able to keep him sustained. Because once you get a certain amount of wins, like Draper, don't get me wrong, Draper could fall off and go the other way, but with the players that he got, barring health, I think he can.
Winning without Bucky put him in a great position. When you win without your top injured player, that just kind of solidifies you a little bit in my eyes.
Well, I think Jacobs is his top player. So, I
Jacobs ain't been he been kind of quiet.
huh?
Saying here in retrospect, he been kind of quiet here lately.
You really don't do your homework then. You really don't do your.
He been a little soft. He been a little soft push a little bit to
He average over
me.
20 every week. What are you talking about?
But it's just like quiet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he ain't doing it. I never said that. I just said it's like a quiet. He like sneaks in there, gets his numbers. He don't really put up no huge numbers.
The same week that Bucky had
So
that.
he had a 37, two
Yeah.
37. Okay, two back to back 37, but 22 to me is just like it's kind of like it ain't bad, but it's kind of
Well, let me say this. That's what I told you earlier. I'm looking to get 4 to 5 motherfuckers to get 20 this week. Now, that's will show how we see things differently. Give me 20. You say
no,
that.
no, 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 no. I'm not saying it's a
That
bad thing. I just said that I feel like
that is
a
soft.
superstars is
I,
it's a little soft 20.
see. That's what I'm saying. I don't think. See, I don't think he has a superstar on his team. But that's just how I see it. But what I'm saying is, I didn't even think Jacobs was gonna do what he's doing, so I do commend Jacobs on doing what he's doing. So, but to me, he is best player to me. Like even if Bucky was still there, I feel like Jacobs still the best player
Still
because
the best player.
he's still the best player. But who giving Jacobs a run for his money is Dak motherfucking Prescott, who I always said he should have been starting from the very beginning. But with Dak, if Dak is gonna give you 20 plus every week, that's something you was totally not expecting. You just wasn't expecting that. So if he give you 20 every week, then to me
Dak is not a bad quarterback.
he becomes the star. You see, you got to understand how the NFL work when it comes to fantasy. The quarterbacks that's gonna put up big numbers, or the quarterbacks that can run too. Them
That's
are the
can run
quarter,
too, yeah.
them the
He ain't been
quarterbacks
running though, but he been putting up big numbers
because you keep
because he got
ignoring
them dogs over there.
you keep ignoring what he got over there.
He got them dogs over there.
He got three people, three legitimate people that can run up and down the field with him all day long. Ferguson, Pickens, Lamb. That's what he got. I'm saying I ain't even talking about Javante Williams. I'm talking about what he throwing to.
What
They
he throwing
march
to?
up and down the field all day long on people. That's how good they are. They just how good like they are. So I mean that's why he is. That's why I say you wasn't expecting though to the nigga wasn't even playing Dak because he wasn't expecting for Dak to do that. Nobody was. But now,
No, I feel that.
but now that you know that that's what he doing, I'm saying going forward, just like Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes been playing with bits and pieces, seem like for forever. He finally got everybody back now. Now they got Patrick Mahomes projected as being the number one quarterback going forward for the rest of the fantasy season. It's like when you get weapons, people is respecting your ability as who you are as the quarterback to be able to get it to them weapons. So I, I can
Man,
see
they got a point.
and I can see where a person like quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, they don't have to run. Josh Allen got to run to put up numbers. That's just what he got to do. Now every now and then he is gonna have a 300.
1, 2, 3 test. I'm Mike Fisher, trusty and trusted
Yeah.
reporter.
But I mean, well, shit, let's go get started over shit.
Let's go ahead and get this shit started. Let's kick this shit off, man. At the 8 minute mark. Welcome to the top. The top of it presents Inside the Huddle. I'm your host, LAV, the better team, joined by my co-host as always, Ken Fode. What's up with my baby?
Man, it was another exciting week in Inside the Huddle. We had some dramatic victories, people pulling it out at the end, and we had some people that dramatically came up short. So, and some surprising upsets also along the way. So, yeah, let's go get into this great rewind about what we did or what was done last week.
We had some underproduction sprinkled in also. Let's go, like you say, let's go ahead and get into this shit, man. We're gonna kick this shit off first and foremost, with the Mac Twin going against the Mac of the Year. The Mac of the Year has been rolling like a semi truck on steroids, knocking over any opposition that stands in their way. And it was really hard for Mac Twin coming in this week, going against his Mac of the Year for some odd reason, but I think I know why you did it. You took Mac Twin to win this week. That shit was preposterous to me. He didn't stand a chance, and he almost lost by 100 points. Let's just say that. Oh, damn, I'm behind on my banners. There we go. Yeah, 124 to 216. That's what we was at. Yeah. You start off with your first L, man. This shit wasn't even close. It was ridiculous to say the least. Shout out to my nigga Mac Twin though, man. He doing the best he can. Jalen Hurts gave him 30. I mean, you can't ask for too much more than that. He got 0 from Kittle. Like I say, before we get go, man, when these people come back from injury, man, you can't just rush them back into the lineup and assume they're gonna be who they were when they left. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta slow roll it out. I will say the tight end he did have or traded for didn't do a damn thing either. So, you know, whoop de doo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was too much to not enough, man. 216 to 124. Shout out to the Mac of the year, man. They got the back to back 200-point game and third of the season. We'll touch on that a little bit more. Let me say that that 39 from Chase on Thursday set the ball rolling, man. You know what I'm saying? What did you see in this matchup?
What I see was more juice, more the Mac of the year continuing to keep it rolling down the tracks. They squad has had some surprise people show up and start showing out, and they've had some people that wasn't showing out to start showing up.
Okay, I like how you put that.
So I respect what they doing right there, and I think that the teams that face them, they're gonna have to have some firepower to be able to go up against them. Because I will give them this: I haven't seen a lot of underperforming of late. Early in the season, you seen that from
Week
the
one.
year, but the last like stretch that they've been on, like the last 4 games or so, they really been hitting on all cylinders. So maybe they do for a down game here soon, but it don't look like it the way they rolling.
I wanted to say this. I wanted to ask you this, just real quickly while we still in here on this game. Why did you take
Mhm.
Mac Twin to beat the Mac of the year? Was it just you hoping that he wanted to? You wanted him to win. You was hoping he could, or you really
No,
felt something that didn't come out to
put the
play out
score
like
back
you
up.
thought?
Put the score back up there real quick. Now you see the projection right here is 172 to 151. So what I'm saying on that is that when you within like 10, 15, points, 19 and 20 points, like all it takes is for one person to underperform, and you just hold steady. You ain't even gotta have nobody be super. Just one person underperform, you hold steady,
Mm.
then you can take the victory. So that's kind of how I was seeing it, trying to think that hey, he might actually have a chance because, like I was just initially saying, the Mac of the Europe just been just hitting on all cylinders lately, and he haven't had no people really underperforming. Maybe it's time for him to get hit with that, but we seen differently.
Most definitely, we yeah. I don't see what you're seeing, but that is neither here nor there. We're gonna keep this shit going, man. Mike Twin, I'm still here for you, my baby. Anything I could do to help you in this situation, you know I'm here for you. Uh, Keep the shit moving, like I said. You know what I mean? We're gonna get into this next matchup, which I have right here of no nuts, no glory, going against Phil Belichick. Uh, Phil Belichick, they made some errors. I think you would, if you had it to do it all over again, you would start Herbert. You see the score. I mean, it's 196 to 143. But if you had it to do it all again, you start Herbert. You started Justin Fields. You got a 432 from Justin Fields. Herbert's got a 32. So already you starting off a 28-point difference. So you add 28 to the 139. You know, that's going to put you in a better position. Then Marvin Harrison coming off a concussion. He put him right back in there. He rushed him right back in there. Or you could have swapped Krosky Merrick out for Walker, but that's 7-8, that matchup. But Devin Smith had a 37. Now, I'm not saying that put them two in there and you win the game. I'm saying that may have had something to do with the competitive nature of the matchup if you would have had them in there. You know what I'm saying? But be that it is made 196 points for no nuts, no glory. They win again in this matchup. You took Phil Belichick. I took no nuts, no glory. So I'm already up 2-0 on you right now, early as we begin this shit, man. Just quick shout out. 27 for Dak Prescott, 22 for Jacob Swift had a 22, 27. St. Brown had 21. So he got them first four out with over 20, approaching 100 points right there. Then Stevenson gave him 21. That's 100 and some change. The rest put together, he got you 196, man. What a good matchup. 5-2 for no nuts, no glory. What do you think about this team, man? They're looking really strong. They barely lost to you, or else they just be having one loss right now. Uh, Again, what do you think about this team? This matchup, rather.
Now, what I'm gonna say about this matchup right here is, as you seen with the projections that before the game started, it was a 1 point difference for no nuts, no glory. 1 point difference.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Belichick made just a colossal mistake by first of all starting Justin Fields. I'm talking about that was a colossal mistake. And
Colossal.
the way that he after the game that he had just had, I'm talking about he wasn't coming off no injury. He was coming off one of the worst games ever in football history, is what he was coming off of. So I'm saying when you take that into play, Herbert should have been in there, hands
Should have.
down, no doubt. Now you may waffle on if you start Smith over Harrison, but it's even a question mark there though. With Harrison haven't been doing shit really the whole season but one game. So
Mm.
so then when you add in the concussion, you might would have went with Smith. And when you look at the score and you see that it was what was it, a 53-point difference? It's
Mm-hmm.
a possibility that he might have won with them two in there. I ain't added up the score yet, but
It would have been closer. That's a shit show.
so I'm saying, what did Harrison get double figures?
Yeah, 7-8
7, 8. So what are you talking about? That means he get a 30 from Smith,
for
and then
30 in there,
and then
and
and then
29 and 28
he would have won.
and 28.
That's
That
50.
definitely it definitely would have been up for discussion.
That's
Let's
50.
just say that.
It ain't no up for discussion. We can add 58 points, put him at over 200.
Mm.
We could do math. He blew this game.
Dang.
And you what you got to give no nuts no glory on is that they picked Stevenson to put in the lineup this week, which turned out good for them because he had a good game for them, and that even.
He ain't had nothing else to put in there. Sean Tucker, Michael Carter, 7-6, Sean Tucker 1-5. But I mean,
But I'm saying
you are right. You right in what you're saying.
he could have picked Michael Carter and took a chance. I'm saying
You're
he,
right. You got 23 from that Kansas City defense, and he cut him.
yeah, and he had his fingers on the button by playing Stevenson. So that's where
Nah,
I
I
that's
agree
where
with
I
you.
give him his props on. But Phil Belichick, to me, in my opinion, just totally blew this because no doubt you should have started Herbert, and then it was a real question mark on starting Harrison. So just
Coming off that injury, yeah.
it just heartbreaking when you see that he could have won the game if he would have played them two guys, and
Mm.
it was so logical in doing it.
And doing it. It really was. What did Fields have last week that made him want to get Fields? Fields had a 6.28. Oh, wow.
I,
Okay.
I told you,
Yeah, that was a gaff. He fumbled that baby.
I mean,
He dropped the baby, man. I can't even get any other way to put it. But shit, it is what it is, man. 5-2 for NNG. They looking real good out there. Phil Belichick. 3 and 4. They're still within striking distance. They got some work to do. We're gonna keep this shit going, man. We're gonna get into this next matchup. We got Detroit or nothing. Uh, in the upset of the year, I would say. Some may differ. Was going against Coach Lewis, and it didn't go the way Coach wanted it to go. It was 181 to 178. Coach was sitting there praying and hoping and wishing things could go his way because he needed help. He needed help in this matchup, and he put himself in a situation where he had to hope some things went right. And I'm not gonna shit you. For a time there, it looked like it was gonna play in his play, but I always know that there is one thing you cannot do in fantasy football. If the whistle has not blown for the final second in the fourth quarter, you cannot go in chat and say anything close to "I have won" or "I think I got this one." Shut the fuck up, let it play, and then say all that after the words. But Coach new to this shit. I'm gonna give him a pass for it. But the fantasy gods are not, as they take away a victory that was within reach. As he sit in the chat says, "I think I won this one." And shortly after that, I text back, "No, no, 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 don't say that. No, 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 don't. And it was too late. I mean, this shit is like karma. It seemed like it was like in a fairy tale in a movie, like it was written in the script. It was just like clockwork. They turned the ball over and give it to Detroit. What they do? They kick the field goal. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, they didn't even kick a short field goal. It was a 5-point. It was a 5-point. It was a 50+ yard field goal. This shit, I can't make this shit up, man. Detroit or nothing on Auto. Let's mind you, Auto Detroit or nothing gets their second win of the year, 181 to 178. As Coach Lewis drops the ball, and they got a hard victory, a hard match coming up next week. They needed this one to put in their back pocket. They had a tremendous performance from Bo Nix. He had 42 points. Jonathan Taylor had 38 points. You put that shit together, that's 80 fucking points out your first two players. And then the rest just gave him, enough to be in contention. If he'd got anything from Dobbins beyond a 13, like a 15, 16, Dobbs or anything in that range, he put Quinshawn Johnson in with 11. He could have had Wendell Robinson, who he traded for, with 15-5. I'm gonna get off this shit, man. I'm gonna pass it to my partner, man. Hey, man, what did you see in this matchup? I know you got some insight.
You know what? The first thing I want to do is I want to give big ups to Big G, Detroit or nothing, for coming out from being 0-5, winning 2 in a row, and going to get some stiff competition this week. But we forget that early on in the season, a couple of victories that was that the Detroit or nothing gave up. They barely lost, and we spoke on the show that and they got some talent. So maybe they finally turning the corner, and that talent that we spoke on early in the season is finally showing up at the right time. Now, as far as for Coach, um, he thought he had it. I'm not gonna lie. As I'm watching this shit, the motherfucker missed a field goal to give him a negative, and then Detroit started out.
You started to believe that shit a little bit. You got almost bit. You fed in a little bit. He had you.
Well, the thing that no, I ain't saying he had me. What had me was what I'm watching on the field, and I'm seeing that. I'm looking at the time that's in the game. I'm sitting here like, well, fuck. I mean, what it took for it to happen. I'm saying so. They had to fumble the ball and shit, and give Detroit back the ball, and then Detroit had to go 3 and out, so the dude can kick the field goal. So like all of that had to happen because they could have easily drove down, scored a touchdown, then the dude just kick an extra point, and then he lose. But it happened. He kicked the field goal. He lost. Now, what Coach got to understand, is that he has a powerful team too. He do. I give him that. So this is not an indictment on him, and I think that that's how people gonna look at it when they lose to Detroit or nothing. That it's an indictment on their team when they don't understand or they ain't even trying to look across the bow and say, "Yeah, that dude got some talent."
Nah, he do got some talent. He's matchups has mattered a lot this season for certain teams. It depends on who you run into, and what they doing that week. If they having a high scoring week, shit, man, you can have a good week and still lose. That has happened to a many in this league and in all leagues for that matter. Coach ran into a buzzsaw this week, man, and it's ironic that he made a trade with this person that with Detroit or nothing. I would say Big G, but it's AI. So
Yeah,
it is what it is. We off that. Shout out to my nigga though. You still my nigga though. But business is business, and we're gonna keep that shit business as we keep this shit moving. At the same time, let's get into this other matchup, which I had a head scratcher about. It kind of blew me uh, because I'm close to it. I'm gonna kick it back to you. Oh, let's run that shit back. For the record, uh, I took and you took Detroit or nothing. How about that?
yeah, you seen my vision. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So you on the board. So I'll put you on the board. I just wanted to say that for the people. He on the board, my baby. He on the board. He got his first win of last week in our picks. I'm dominating, by the way, but let's go to Natural Born Kyler's and MMT Michael Monsters team. Uh, it was one. Let me. Yeah, I'm gonna kick it over here. My bad. It was. God damn. It was 144 to 148. They came in with the projections 168 to 161. The Cowboys was actually projected to win. Go ahead and take this flow, and I'm gonna come on back, because like I say, I'm close to the situation. I got, a few things I want to say, and I
That,
don't really want to take up
that
the
thing just
all
scrolling
that.
down.
Yeah, I got it. Bam.
Now,
There you go.
as far as this game go right here, uh, C-Mac, man, C-Mac. I'm gonna say this before I even touch on the game. I bet it's a lot of people now that they see what C-Mac doing, they like, damn, I should have took that motherfucker. but but C-Mac, man, he is playing at an extremely high level right now, and he put MBK in the game to get it over the top. But Ricard White just didn't get it done on Monday night against Detroit. I think he finished in under, not even in double figures. You know what I'm saying? So if he was projected to do like 22, if he just give you just a 15, then you win the matchup. So it was difficult. Excuse me, it was difficult for MBK on how that ended up falling out for him. But for Mike and MMT, I know they were sitting over there sweating bullets for a second there, because they didn't want to fall even further behind. So this was a nice victory for them to scrape out with and try to regroup for next week. But once again, they need Saquon Barkley and Alvin Kamara, who I expected and many expected to be the top two guys on this team to start playing like it.
This is what I would say. Uh, they're 2-5. I don't understand this team. I really don't. Uh, I get it. If you're busy, you're too busy to open your phone up and manage your franchise. Then just say you're too busy to open your phone up and manage your franchise. Because I saw a glaring hole in his lineup this week, and I was bewildered. It was it was bonkers. It was bad news. He decided to not suit up a kicker. A
Oh, he
kicker.
he never put one
He
in.
never put in a kicker to
Oh
go
shit.
against MMT, basically gifting him a victory. You know how much of a difference 3 and 4 is compared to 2 and 5
Yeah, yeah.
when you're racing to not have more than 7 losses. You're already 2 away from 7. It was
Yeah.
horrible. It was bad GMing. It was. He must be a rookie. He may have not have done this before. And if that's the case, you still don't get a pass because I know another rookie who's never played this before in his life, and they make sure they get their people on the field, and they got a lot of things going on as well, you know. But they in this league. But I saw you, little bro. I saw you active. So I'm asking myself, scratching my head. I'm saying to myself, he's making transactions on a Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, but he's not making adjustments to his lineup on a Sunday morning. I mean, praise the Lord, but I mean, you do get up and do things before you go to off to worship on a Sunday. You don't pick up your phone and tap in with your fantasy and see you got a hole at kicker. Let me tell you, all the players that kicked on Sunday that would have gave him a victory. Hold on, grab your seatbelts. Here we go. We'll start with the last one. Parker Romo had a 4. A 4 will give you 109. I mean, excuse me, 148.96. Guess what? You win.
Yeah.
Will Lutz had a 5. You win. Some Patterson for Dolphins had a 6. You win. Schmidt had a 7. You win. Fitzgerald for the Carolina had a 7. You win. Same thing with Bordegas for New England. You win. Boswell, Sly, Harvard Skitch, Moody, McPherson had a 17. You would have won. Negligence.
Yeah, yeah. That's what you call pure negligence, like because you doing a disservice to you and your team.
It actually, I did a disservice to the audience. I was supposed to brought you up on the big screen when I said that, and I didn't because I needed you to see me more than you did. But you got off. You got off. I'm still working this. I tell y'all what though, going forward, boy, I'm getting good. I'm gonna bring y'all up on the screen, man. We got that big screen on there. We got that single person soapbox going on. But yeah, be that as it may, little bro. Shit, man. You still got action. I mean, according to Banks, though, you don't, because he named off who he believed were the top 6, and your record is far from being in contention at this point. But we still got it's still young season. We still got some shit going on, man. We still got some things to change. Let's go ahead and keep this shit moving, man. We're gonna get into this next matchup. It was counted out. Uh, the world was against him as far as this fantasy world and inside the Huddle studios that he is. You understand me? It's only me and you. By the way, we whine. For those who are counting out there, me and you both took the collars.
Yeah,
It's even more reason why I was upset about that hole at kicker. Come on, man. Compete, man. Compete, man.
yeah,
Compete in the front office. Compete on the field. That's all you got to do. And the rest is up to the players, man. But we off to nothing. Yeah, man. I'm gonna let you bring this one in too. Again, the better team going against Brad Hunter. We're gonna get this one off early. I ain't gonna miss this shot. Yeah, you took Brad Hunter. Of course, I took the better team this week. Last week was different. Uh, Be that as it may, it was 150, one Curtis Jackson, 2300 Curtis Jackson Street, uh, to 125. I was right there at my projection. Actually, I went under 3 points under. He was way under. And I told you that if you wind that show, y'all go back and look at that show. I told him, I said he gonna have underproduction uh at Cadillac Williams. He gonna have underproduction at Genty going to Kansas City. I did say Scatterboo would have underproduction. Scatterboo got a 23. Scatterboo tough. Say man. Shout out to Cat. Cam. They got him fucked up. He went to ASU anyway, so I'm gonna fuck with it. I said Pickens would underproduce because Lamb will come back and that gonna fuck with his boy, man. You understand me? It ain't that he didn't throw it to Pickens. Pickens a dog, but Lamb coming back. I can't. Well, how I ain't gonna feed my dog? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Keenan went off. Keenan scared me. 29-9. Poor trade. Poor trade. Or was it? Shit. Didn't what you call do something too? But anyway, if I was the other team, I'd have kept Keenan out. And I like Keenan out. But it is what it is. We moved on. But he had a 4-5 from Porter, and then the 7 from Golden. Singleton gave him a 6. Hutchinson a 5 strong. Defensive back 1.5. That damn near made up for the Steelers that I had with a -4. Falcons got a 6. I said they would underperform too going to San Francisco. We discussed that. I told you that was a bad pickup. And me and you said the same, and we were right. And then Ellie got a 1.5, which down there justified, like I say, that -4. You know what I'm saying? And that shit just ranked up. Just like that. Damn, I kind of carried it. I should have. I was supposed to give it to you first and bring it back to me, man. Go ahead, run this shit. Let me get off this.
Look, man. The shit swung your way. You got lucky this week. He had. I'm talking about so many people underperform on his team. It just ain't even right when you look at shit like that. I had meant to put this in the chat. I think I still got the screenshot. I think I might still put it in the chat just for shit kicks and giggles so people could see. It was this one person that was in the league. Now they don't have all the defensive players and all that shit that we got, but they got all the offensive players, the flex and all of that shit right there. And the guy scored a grand total of 13.8 points. if every person that he picked fucking underperformed tremendously. Ones, zeros, twos. It was like that up and down his whole fucking lineup. And you say to yourself like, man, how do something like that fucking happen? See, I be telling you this all the time. It's you that put them people out on the field. So it ain't nobody else to blame but you. And unfortunately, that's how he got to roll. You know what I'm saying? That he got to blame himself for putting the Falcons in over the Eagles defense. He got to blame himself because he carrying Flacco for not playing Flacco over Cadillac Williams. So that right there alone would have won in the game.
Strong.
So I'm saying it. These are decisions like
Charbonnet.
Charbonnet look what he did. I'm saying think about this.
Charbonnet over Golden.
Yeah. I'm saying
that got it done.
I'm saying you have to own these decisions when you make these decisions. And somebody might say it's even luck that you go a certain way with certain people and they end up having monster games. Somebody might say that that's luck. But guess what? If you want to call it luck, I guess I had the luck that week. You know what I'm saying? Just and that's why when I said that you got lucky, well, you had the luck this week. And so at the end of the day, anybody that we put in these lineups, we are the owners, we are the managers, we're the one who putting them in the lineup. So we just got to own up to, even if they underperform, We put him in. So, and somebody might say, well, you didn't have, who else are you gonna play? Who else are you gonna do? Well, shit, I I can't say what else you gonna do. What I do know is who you put in there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it was a hard week for Brad Hunter. He filed a 2-5, just like MBK, and they got a big hole to be trying to climb out of. And this has happened to him, Brad Hunter. I'm speaking of so many times this year where his players underperform. That's what's cost him victories. And then when you pile up on top of it, when he do have a good scoring weeks, he playing somebody that's going even harder. So he's had a hard go of it in the inaugural season of Inside the Huddle. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he make better decisions, going forward on the players and people that he play. And because if not, then he'll be looking on the playoffs from the outside.
Well, like I always like to say, my favorite catchphrase is matchups matter. Sometimes it's who you meet matching up with that week. It's a lot of guys this week. If I'd have met them, I would have lost out clear cut, or you would think that I would have. You talk about the players he could put in the lineup. I missed on a couple too. I didn't hit on all cylinders. I mean, theoretically, if you go down and look and say, "Hey, man, go ahead and double tight," which I considered, drop Ted down. That would have been a nice play. He had that's a nice pickup, 18.8 to go Dalton Schultz. You know what I'm saying? Or I could have went with the Texas defense, which I considered also.
The
I
Texas,
shouldn't have went against. I shouldn't have went against Chase. That's 22 points. I would have matched the 22 he had on his bench. You feel what I'm saying? So it's shit like that. But more than anything, I feel like my players understand the seriousness of this shit, and they know how dedicated I am and how much I put into this. So it reflects into the players. Even though I got 12 from golf, he gave me a little bit. Of course, I would have got 20 something from QB1, but shit, we was down too. Put Spears in there. Travis had a down day. Ted had a down day. Sutton came in and gave me something like I wanted 16-7. Ferg with a 21-9. Addison, a smart pickup, you know, 23-8. Linebacker 10. Hunter. Now that's gonna be something you guys gonna have to pay attention. Hunter and when they come back. Those are going to be two players that y'all going to have to pay a lot of attention to. People don't really understand what I have in Hunter. Some people understand what I have in it, but most don't. They don't realize I got the potential to go 4 wide receiver deep, and I did revamp my wide receiver group. So all that came and showed his head. If I would have relied on my running backs, all the running backs I've lost that gotten hurt, and tried to run it up bullheaded with the run, that wouldn't have worked. But I seen what had happened, and we improvise, man. This shit is organic. If it ain't going right, you gotta mold it and make it into what you need it to be, and that's what we do over here, man. We don't give up nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? Disastrous. I would dare to say there ain't too many owners, if any, in this league who would have lost as many players that we have lost and still be in the hunt and the contention as we are, and still have a very strong team. We believe that, we know that, and it was showed on this day a 25-point win. And we had a bad day. We didn't even have all our stars, so we're gonna keep this shit rolling and keep it going. Shout out to nephew. I didn't want to do you like that, but I had to because you was in my way, And now we ain't got nothing to worry about. I might not ever see you again in this fantasy shit this year. So that remains to be seen. Speaking of the remains, there was remains left, on the field of play as it was kind of a run from behind. You ever seen somebody take off running and be gone and look like it's a done deal? That's what happened in here. The Rubens Rowdy team took off running. They went into Monday night up 35 points, and they declared it over. They said the fight was over. Then nobody need to come and watch anything else. There was no need for it. It had been called, and they called it.
Did they say that?
They said that. They said
Oh,
that. They said that that was enough. I had spoke to them. I asked them, uh, what's a number you comfortable? Because anytime you go into Monday night and and the team is gonna be up, we had that conversation. 30. It was ironic. It was 35 points. Only difference is I didn't have the horses to catch you. You're undefeated. You're a juggernaut. You got to come with your best game every time. I didn't. You know, the story was already told. But yeah, they said. let me be more direct. They said, hey man, 35 will do it. You know what I'm saying? I got what name in there? He gonna give me some scrapes and shit, some scraps. You know what I'm saying? I said, damn, Gibbs can go for 30 something on his own. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't think. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, we seen what it was, and again, as you look at it right here, man, it was a massacre, even more in debt. Having a great team requires a lot of strategy and skill. Keeping a great team healthy throughout the season requires a lot of luck. Losing when you're outscored half the league requires the exact opposite of luck. Misfortune hit Ruben's rowdy team. They said it misfortune. Let me run it. Misfortune hit Ruben's rowdy team last week as they put up 184 points, but still lost to he who remains. At least you can say they were one of the high scoring teams last week. They was, and if you'd have played some other teams, you might have beat them. But nonetheless, this ain't a flex your score against other teams' league. They got out early. And they got hawked down, man. They had a good performance. Drake made that was a good call, 24. Bijan gave him a nice 25. Javante a 25. I'm gonna give him that point. 0.1. Where the hole in his lineup is those two receiver spots. You run out a nigga named Juan and a nigga named Elick, Juan and Elick as your two top receivers. If I just say them two niggas' name, you wouldn't even have any idea what I was talking. You wouldn't even be thinking about football. You'd be like, who the fuck is that? Juan and Elick. And yeah, that's who your two receivers are. You know what I'm saying? He had Pittman at flex. I guess he's a sneaky hide. I would just for the strong of the team, I'd put Pittman at wide receiver 1, just so it looked good as on paper. You got to put it's shit by presentation, man. You know what I'm saying? Cooler shit for Sherwood. He had good performances, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Maybe you get Michael Parsons in there at defensive lineman. Yeah, 11-5. Why you got Parsons on his? I can't see it, man. Why you got Parsons on the bench though? I don't know. Fuck it, figure it out, man. You got Mims with a 15-8. Let me see where he could have went in there at. Oh, if you bench Elick and put Pittman at the other receiver, and you flex Mims Jr., who you said you was gonna flex. Yeah, you wouldn't have flexed him. He had a 6'3" last. I mean, he probably more than Alec. What did Alec have? I'm just one real quick. What did Alec have last week? A 5'7". You take a 6'3" over 5'7" any day, don't you? I ain't gonna spend too much on this shit, man. Jordan Love got him a nice 16. That's what I think. That's his groove. I think he right there. Kyron had an underperformance, 11-7. CD right back where he gonna live at 26. He gonna live in the 20s. On a bad day, he'll have like a 16. You know what I'm saying? Seymour, Warren with a 16-9. I miss you, my boy. Do great things. Just not against me. Junkins back at it, 34. Good Seahawks 12 defense. Campbell got a 12-5 at defensive back with the touchdown. You call that. You know what I'm saying? Good win. 206. Welcome to the, you understand me, the 200-point club. We'll get more in on that here in a minute. The floor is yours. He who remains. All I seen is remains of this boy, man. You know, fucked up over here, all over the place.
Look. Let me say
40,
this.
oh wait, did I say 45 from Gibbs? I was holding that for last. Uh, half a Jordan throwback for Gibbs. Go ahead, baby.
Let,
No, baby.
let me throw this in there right quick. People got to understand. I don't know who else has done this season, but if you remember that close game that you were speaking about a little bit earlier about between me and Draper, no nuts, no glory. You know how many points he had that game?
184, 86, 88, somewhere in the 80s.
84.
Yeah.
So I beat two people that scored 184 points. I want to just put that on the record too. See, you can be beating people and you can be putting up points, but are you getting that same competition back though? That's pushing you. And I'm saying I beat two teams now that scored 184 points. Now let me say another thing. I didn't know that he had already chimed in with you and let you know, oh, this shit over with. And you know, like chalk him up, put a line around him. I didn't know that. But even with me not knowing that, I want to touch on something else you say. You know, because I know you say this all the time. Don't go in the chat before the game is over. Don't say this, say that. Well, shit. As soon as Gibbs, goddamn me, popped off in the first half with that goddamn me 7-8 yarder, I said it was fucking over. I wasn't skirting or hiding behind nothing. It was over because he had just his DB
You
and
was down 2 points at that point with a whole lot of game left. Of course it's over. What are we talking about?
I hit it with a night night.
You had two, three niggas. You got the main factor, Gibbs,
Yeah,
and then you still had Campbell.
yeah.
And then did you have? I thought you had something else. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Seahawks defense, that 12.
Uh, see what I'm saying? Come on, of course it's over.
That 12,
And the
that
Seahawks game came. Seahawks game came later.
yeah,
That came later.
yeah. But look, I will give him this though. A fucking valiant effort from his DB if it would have been a close game to have a big game. This motherfucker had like a 12 or a 13. Nah, look all them tackles that he had. Like
Yeah, I know it.
it was unreal. I said, damn. I said,
14, 13 tackles, a sack, and he got a
so
12
what he had
fight
at
from
18?
Sherwood. He had 14.
A 14. See, I was saying to myself, to the thank the fantasy gods that it wasn't a close game because this nigga DB would have put it out for him. That's how good he was playing. But man, let me say this, man. Um, I said it last week, so I guess it's gonna continue every week. That this is the first time I ever seen somebody in fantasy that I know of that went 7-0. First time I ever seen it. And I ain't just saying just because it's me. I'm just saying I ain't never seen this shit before. And I'm proud of my team, man. I'm proud of Gibbs for finally having his big game. And uh, I mean, this is what's crazy, man. We scored 206 points. We underperform at quarterback. We underperform at running back with Williams. We underperformed for the receiver spot. See more what normally would be Puka. So that's a tremendous underperformance. We get basically nothing in my opinion out of the kicker or the punter really. I mean, neither one of them had nothing that you want to write home about. So really, I've been saying this the whole year, and people think I be joking. We really have underperformed, and this is another game. Even with scoring 206 points, we underperform at major spots in the lineup: quarterback, running back, and receiver. So I'm saying we ain't even hit on our cylinders yet. And I wanna welcome in CD motherfucking Lamb to the party. I want to welcome him to the party because he has arrived from day one, which I knew that he would. And I keep coach keep on saying like he sent me a message talking about CD Lamb go underperform because they playing Denver this next week. He like now he all against CD Lamb now. Well, CD Lamb is happy where he at. He glad to be where he at, and we're glad to have him. But another victory. We 7-0, 7-0.
Yeah, I knew off the rip that that was a bad trade for the CD Lamb, and CD Lamb going to make him pay for it. You know, it's going to be hard. He's a Cowboy fan. It's going to be hard for him to even watch the Cowboy the rest of the year, especially with the duration of the offense. You can see it. You can see it. They trying to do an MVP type of season for that
Yeah,
pass one. I mean, rightfully so. I mean, you got two of the greatest receivers combined as far as a receiving core, maybe ever ish.
you can literally say that them niggas easily is a top 10 duo in the history of the game. You can talent wise, you can easily say that.
And it'd be hard to disagree with. Uh, Aside from that, great week, guys. All franchise, even there are no losers in this shit, man. We all win. It was uh wonderful week. Some a little more wonderful than others. We just say that. Uh, but we gotta man, hey, look, we gotta take care of the chores. We gotta get to the the tally, man. We gotta tally the score, man. We gotta tally the score. This week, he who remains went 2-4. They're 22-17 overall on the seat. 25. I got 22 on that. It's 25-17. I gotta correct that. And I went 5-1. Sparkling week. Only missed one this week. And if MBK had put a kicker in, I would have went 6-0. That's another reason why I had to get on my soapbox. I can't believe, he did me like that, man. You understand me? Deprived me of perfection that I so rightly deserved this week. Uh, like I say, it was a rough week for you, man. I don't know what to say. It reads right there, 29-13 to 25-17. I'm pretty much about to run off.
No, people be living in it's fantasy football. I don't live in a fantasy dream world. Uh, what happened this week? I mean, it was simple. I took one shot with Twin, um, and underperforming for Bread Hunter, and Phil Belichick dropped the ball and put people in. So I mean, you know, I mean, it is what it is. We'll catch
It
back
is what it is.
we
You
it,
catch back in. You
it,
catch back in with me.
yeah, it ain't. We'll be right back, right there.
Well, we're gonna keep this shit moving, man. It's time to let me dim the lights and kind of set the mood a little bit. Damn, why this shit ain't playing? It just did. Man, now I feel bad. I can't get my music in. Let me dim the lights and set the mood. And get you prepared for the unfold. Together have magnificent third perfection. This is a final.
Hey, thanks for throwing that intro in to me, Face. I want to welcome everybody to the Fine Dining Hour. where each week we highlight the top 5 players that set the table for their teams to eat. And it was an interesting week this week. So let's go ahead and kick it off starting at number 5. He has struggled most of the season. Him and his quarterback just hasn't been on the same page. But maybe, just maybe, days like this will turn it around. With 4 receptions, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns for a 29.1. A.J. Brown. Now, A.J. Brown, like I say, him and his quarterback haven't been on the same page. He haven't had many big games this year, but he came to the party this week with 4 receptions, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns for that 29.1. Going into number 4, this is his second week in a row making the fine dining hour. And I said last week that he was a top 3 to 5 receiver in all of football. And he continued to display his brilliance with 8 receptions, 123 yards, a touchdown for a 29.3. Jackson Smith and Jigma. We talking about JSN. Say, man, this guy is trying to make a case. I'm telling you guys to be the top guy in the league. I mean, he playing with Sam Donald, and he up here making him continue to look like a star the same way Justin Jefferson did. We got to watch out for JSN. 123 yards, a touchdown for a 29.3 on 8 receptions. Coming in at number 3, he's playing for a 1-5 team, but he made them 2-5 all by himself, leapfrogging himself onto the hour for the first time. But I think we'll hear from him again with totals like this: 25 carries for 84 yards and 3 touchdowns for a 34.5. We talking about rookie sensation Quinshawn Junkins. Say, man, that like they start running a wildcat because they know that even the Dolphins, even though they know that he gonna be running the ball, we still believe he can get in, and he did that with those 24 carries, 84 yards, 3 touchdowns for 34.5. Quinshawn Junkins. Now coming in at number 2, this guy just says, "Give me a quarterback of competence that can spin the ball, age be damned, and I'll give you the best wideout in all of football." And with numbers like this, it's hard to argue. He had 16 receptions, 161 yards, a touchdown for a 39.1. We talking about Jamar Chase. Man, say, man, this guy, I mean, he's playing with a guy over 40 years old and Joe Flacco, and it don't even matter, man. He dropping 16 receptions, 161 yards, a touchdown for a 39.1. Jamar Chase. And coming in at number 1, if this guy didn't split time in the backfield, he would win the MVP of the National Football League. That's just how dynamic he is with the ball in his hands, his speed, his agility. He's the best running back in the league, and that's with splitting time. And he painted a canvas with 17 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns to go along with 3 receptions, 82 yards for 45.3. Jameer Gibbs. Man, I'm telling people, if this guy was not splitting time with David Montgomery, he would easily be in contention for winning the MVP because his numbers would be just bonkers. They like they just would be crazy. That run that people seen on Monday night, that 7-8 yard scamper like that, you'll be seeing many more of those breakout runs because he would have more opportunities to catch the defense in an awkward or slipping position to be able to pull something like that off. Once again, 17 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns with 3 receptions, 82 yards for 45.3. We talking about Jameer Gibbs. Now I want to thank everybody today for visiting the Fine Dining Hour. Now, what everybody be want to know, man, say, man, what the fuck you gonna put on there this week, man? And they say, what are you talking about this week? Well, you know what I'm talking about. The beauty of the week. Who will be that? Well, this week we come all the way from Germany with German Olympic runner Alicia Smith. German Olympic runner Alicia Smith. Now, I want to say, man, let me tell y'all something, man.
Why woman?
Let me tell y'all
Oh
something.
Lord, that's a picture right there.
Let me tell y'all something, man. This woman right here, ooh wee, man. She got them sky blue eyes too. Ooh wee, man. Let me tell you something, man. Ooh, she's something serious
You
right
know, we don't discriminate, man. You know what I'm saying? We like the polar apps too. You
there. You know
know,
what I'm saying?
the Himalayas too, man.
Say, man. She say,
The
man.
caucasity
She
of it.
look.
Okay, I'm gonna stay right there.
She coming to the party, man. I mean, she's at the party and she livening it up. Everybody, German Olympic runner Alicia Smith. Oh,
Very beautiful.
that's the one I like. That one right there. That red. Ooh,
Definitely very, very beautiful beauty of the week. Real quick, nice fine dialing hour and beauty of the week as always, as always, as always. We have a couple of comments. Let me see what we got. Someone said, "What up, fellas? Who do you like more, Bill or Chase Brown?"
ooh, man. Oh man. Oh gosh, that's really a hard one. And if you talking about just for this week alone, I probably would say Chase Brown because Jaden Daniels is not playing this week. But going forward with Jaden Daniels, then I would take Bill. I would take Bill. What you say about that, Lab?
Chase is a dog. Uh, I face him. You know, I'm gonna have to deal with him in the next couple of weeks here. I'm gonna say Chase. I'm gonna say what when we talk about Bill. Who you mean Bill?
Oh, that's
For the people who don't know, who's Bill?
that's Krosky Murray first name.
Right. Yeah.
They call him they call
Chase
him Bill
Chase
Nye. They call him Bill Nye the science guy. That's what they
Chase
call.
is more consistent. This guy just showed up, and I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm just saying I would go with Chase. Yeah, I would go with Chase. We have another question real quick, and then we'll move on. Say hi. I have to bench one wide receiver, and it's difficult. Devontae Smith, DK Metcalf, Lad McConkey, and T Higgins. Who do I bench?
Oh my gosh! You know what?
Lad McConkey. It's a toss up between Lag McConkey and DK Metcalf because with T Higgins, uh, I think Joe Flacco can at least. I mean, he brought Higgins back to life. He made Higgins viable. Honestly, I could have traded for Higgins. Had I know they would have had a quarterback and throwing the ball, that would have been right on par. Be that as it may, I would say you start Devontae Smith and T Higgins over DK Metcalf and Matt McConkey. What about you, Vince?
Well, this is what I want everybody to know that's out there listening or watching the show and they have questions for us. We speak from different perspectives sometimes because we see it how we see it. So for me, like he said that for him it's out of Lad McConkey and DK Metcalf. Well, for me, it's out of Devontae Smith and DK Metcalf. And I would lean toward not playing Devontae Smith because I think that
And you start DK Lad.
yeah, Lad been back on the road the last two games. So I'm thinking that that's going to continue. Them struggles that he had early has now dissipated. So I'm thinking that I would take DK Metcalf because he's number one, of course, in Pittsburgh. I like what you said about Higgins, how he got Joe Flacco and he back alive now. And I think Lad McConkey is out of that funk that he was in. So that's why I would go with those three.
I mean, Devontae Smith had like 37 points this past week.
Yeah,
Shit.
he did, but that's not what he gonna do every week.
You might be right. Yeah. Like you say, we on this show together, but that don't mean we always gonna agree with each other. I disagree, you disagree with me. Hey man, we can keep it moving. Let me get into it. We're bringing this back. How about some looking good and good looking? Uh, y'all probably don't know what I'm talking about, huh? When I say looking good and good looking. Well, let's talk about it. Uh, we had he who remains joined the 200-point club this week. That's looking really good. You know, when you look at 206 points, it's not 209 or 234
Or 216.
or 216. Uh, but it is a 200-point club, and it's an exclusive club. We led by a member though. I'm just to let you know, I gotta give you the introduction. We led by a member though, who has put it up more times than any of this shit. Right now, it's becoming a routine. Uh, and that's the Mac of the year, man. He has put up 200 plus, and dare I say, back to back games. The third time at 200 this season. He has the two high. I thought 209 would live for a while. Shit, that shit third on the list.
Look, you got to think about this also. What should have been added to the graphic, he has as many 200-point games as the rest of the league combined.
That's a fact.
I mean,
That is a fucking fact. But yeah, man, when we talk about looking good, a good looking, shout out to he who remains in the Mac of the year. 200-point games this weekend, man. Joined the 200-point club and further extended their pictures of legacy in the 200-point club for the Mac of the year, man. That shit is crazy.
well, I will say this, speaking about legacy, real quick, y'all, before we move on. He spoke on legacy. Well, let me add this legacy. Me and my son both did it. Go ahead.
That is a fact. That is a fact. Family got three of the motherfuckers. I do know that.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
Banks bloodline do definitely have three of the six
yeah.
200 point games. It's the Mac of the year and us. NNG keep coming close, but close ain't 200
It ain't
club.
200.
It ain't the 200 club. At this point right here, man, I like to shout out to those who put up the points. First of all, I'm gonna shout out the leading scorers this week. I thought Gibbs would lead the league in scoring hands down to this point, but I was wrong as McCaffrey went for 46.4, setting an all-time inside the huddle record for
Yeah.
points scored in the game. Nothing to sneeze at. 45 from Gibbs. Bo Nix gave Lewis a 42 in a losing effort. Chase has been doing it redonkulous since early when we called him out. I'd never say nothing against Chase ever again. Just put that on record. Moving to this other.
Hold on. Go
Go
back to
back.
go back to the list real quick. Look at number 3 and number 5. They on the
Mm-hmm.
same team, and that team lost this week. Go ahead.
That is 80 points between two players and still lose is crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Oh shit. Damn, you blew my yeah, man. Dang. I don't want to get nobody on record to be like, oh, Paul. So I'm just gonna say, man, that shit was thrown. Uh 80 points for two players. God damn, Lewis. Uh these are the leading scores as it stands right now. Uh on the way to a potential MVP.
Yep.
Offensive player of the year. We got C-Mac at 32 points, averaging 32 a game. It keeps kind of like a shell game between these three players. It's been C-Mac, it's been Jonathan Taylor, it's been Bijan. All those have been at the top. C-Mac is hanging right there, the top 32. Taylor 31, 30 for Bijan.
And
Pat
look,
Mahomes is scraped up there.
I'm glad you got this graphic up here too, because we was just discussing pre-show what you thought about Josh Jacobs, and look at it.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. You're right about that. We're just gonna snatch it on down. Shout out to those performers in inside the huddle. Tremendous performers, man. You know, they can scratch for their teams, keeping them in position and doing their fucking thing. You got anything to add to that before we move on to this next subject segment?
Look, I added enough with the tidbit about the two players that's in the top five scoring in one that week, and but that team lost. I mean that's another thing that people need to remember and put in a data bank for future years down the line to remember. Two players score 80 points and they
80
still
points and they still lost.
tough, man. That's tough.
That shit throws. Uh, we'll go ahead and get into this next segment, and what we call LAV's TV5, the best five teams. So see LAV. Stay tuned, man. You might hear a freestyle of this later on the TV. All right, let's go ahead and get into this shit, man. LAV TV5, the best five as seen by your boy LAV. Uh, First of all, let me bring up my last five I had last week. In case y'all don't remember, I had Ruben's Rowdy team at number 5. I had Lewis at number 4. NNG was at number 3. The Mac of the year. Is this right? Wait, no. Last week, I had Lewis at number 5. NNG was at number 4. Ruben's Rowdy team was number 3. The Mac of the year was number 2. The two top didn't change. He remains been on the top of LAV's TV5 since week 2 and beyond. So let's go ahead and get into this shit right now, man. Y'all know this shit is undoubtedly the best that's done by me, LAV, and my analytical teams. I got the best AI in the business. So at number 5, we're gonna go ahead and drop it right now. Boom. They were a little bit higher. They had a great win last week, got them up to as far as number 3 on the list, the highest they have ever been on this list. But they take a fall. They take a loss, and it ain't really a loss to sneeze at. They lost to the Juggernaut, the best team in this league. He who remains. So, you got to fall for that. You take a couple of steps as to why you fall. We will get into that right now. We're not going to delay it all. Boom, you fall because Lewis, who even though they lost, still lead their division. And if the season were to end today based off points and performance up to this point, Lewis would be the division winner. And we would touch on that a little bit later as far as we get into what's going to happen. Understand me about division winner and all that shit. But as of right now, they are at the top of the division. So therefore, that gives them the nod since they both lost and they both have the same record at 4-3. That's why I got Ruben's Rowdy team at number 4. At number 3, they surged a little bit this week. They took a loss last week, but they got right back at it. They are 5-2. It is no nuts, no glory. There was definitely some glory hole this week. And so, like Jerry Jones would like to say, with definitely some glory hole this week. They surge on up. They go from what we had them at last week, number 4. So they climb up one spot, one rung. It's really hard to get beyond 3 when you're 5-2, and the team that's in front of you hasn't lost since week 1. And the only loss they have on the record is to a team who hasn't lost at all. It's really hard to get beyond number 2, and that's the Mac of the year, man. They're 6-1. They are looking like they are just as formidable as the one who remains at the top of LAV's TV5. Who it champions. There's no need for this suspense or drum roll or any of those things like that. You know who the fuck it is, man. It's he who remains. That's who remains at the top of my list. There's only one other person who has ever been at the top of this list other than he who remains, and he shall not be named this week. You understand me? Number 5, Ruben's Riley team at 4-3. They are second in the division to Lewis, who are number 4 at 4-3. NNG is 5-2, separating themselves from all that 4-3 shit as they are snugly placed at number 3 on LAB's TB5 in the MAC of the year. Number 2, and he remains, who hasn't lost at all this year, sits on top of the throne, which is the TB5. And the greatest list in the world is impenetrable. You can't deny it, can't defraud it. It is what it is. What'd you say? What'd you think?
Now, my only discrepancy possibly might be, what is your record?
4-3.
That you might slide in at that number 5 spot. What is the point differential between RRT and TBT?
Believe it or not, they are up in the points against TBT. Ruben's Rider team has 1171, while the better team has 1097. Damn near 100-point difference at this stage of the season.
Now let me ask you this: did you lose to NNNG?
Yes.
Did he beat them?
He just beat NNG. So
Well,
therefore,
okay,
see, too many things against that. See that? You see there?
I had to ask some questions.
Look here, man. I would love to scrape myself on the list, but I'm authentic. I got integrity, man. I'm not going to put me up on my list simply because I want to be there and I won and I got a record that is comparable. I see what I see. I know what I expect out of my team. I know what I demand out of them, and they haven't met the requirements. Thus, I don't even do an honorable mention if you sub 500. And there is a pro 500 team that is just outside of number 5 who we would not mention this week as no honorable. You got to earn this shit, man. You got to really stand up around here. But that is my list this week. I ain't mean to cut you off. So when you did your little research then, what did you come back with? You came back with it is sparkling or it needs some arguing?
No, it's all the way straight. When you say that y'all have a common opponent early this season that he beat and you lost to, and he got you by 100 points, yeah, he deserved to be that.
Almost 100. I didn't say he had 100 points. Then they're like 70, man. God damn. Man, what we talking about?
You said damn.
You said 100. That's like the same language. I have to live. I got to put that out there. This is going out. We can't bring it back. You know what I'm saying? So I just clarify that it's not 100. It's damn near. All right, man. So we're gonna close this segment out real quick. Let me get to our league standing in division leaders, like I always like to do. Right around this time, we got he who remains at the top of the Mount Everest division. They are 7-0. Just for the perspective of points, because we're entering into uncharted territory, they have 1,252 points. That's strong. It's not the strongest, but it is strong. Followed by the MAC of the year with 6-1, 1,271. They lead the league in scoring. Phil Belichick is in range. I don't think they're in range to win this division, but they're still in, competitive fire for the rest of the league. 2-5 for Detroit or nothing. They're trying to make it respectful. Otto is anyway. No Nuts, No Glory leads the Oval Office 5-2. Followed by the better team 4-3. MMT is, they teeter-tottering on, trying to keep their head just above 500, and Mac is out of it. I think the season ends next week. Lewis is 4-3. This is a Pentagon. It's really a competitive division. It's really a two-horse race at this point. It's Lewis and Rudy's rider team. Their points are comparable. It's only 24-point difference between each other, so that can be made up in a game. They got the same record. They will play each other later on in the season, so they can settle that smoke on the field. And the Kylers and the Bread Hunters are 2-5. Pretty much, they're not paced out of the division, but Bread Hunters in a bad way. He only has 1,000 points on the season. Dang, they're 200 less than the top two in the division, and he's 2-5, so he's already 2 games behind us. But it's not over. It's definitely not over. I say that to say this because we're going to go ahead and get into the playoffs from this forth. It's presented by Wingstop. We have the Inside Huddle ESPN playoff. If the playoffs started today, this is what we would have. Right now, if the playoffs started today, he who remains will be the number 1 seed. They would have a bye week. No Nuts, No Glory out of the Oval Office will be the number 2 seed as of today. You can add that out because the Mac of the Year, despite having a better record than No Nuts, No Glory, they are not the division leader. So No Nuts, No Glory, they would go to the best records for the next division, and that would be them at 2. It would be 3 Lewis going against the number 6 team, the better team, if it was today. That would be that would be a matchup. And then over there, we would have Ruben's Raleigh team, and the Mac of the Year would be the 4 seed. Because if you don't finish first in your division, I mean, you know, you would have to place Ruben Riley's team, which I could see them coming out of that matchup, and that would send, if I'm not mistaken, the Mac of the Year against He Who Remains, like the second time in about 3 or 4 games. Or you think they reshuffle?
No. How it works is I get whoever is the lowest, the highest.
Oh, so you would play the better team.
If you beat Lewis, then I would play.
Like I said, like you would play the better team.
Yeah,
so that's what you said. You would play the better team.
Yeah.
So
and that's how it's kind of looking like it could possibly shake out if everybody pretty much holds steady like this, in some type of fashion. Then if you win that first game, if you get a 6th seed, then you're gonna be playing me. Yeah. Then in the second round.
Yeah. Well, this is how it stacks up. You can see clearly. Those are our top 6 teams, as according to the Inside the Huddle prediction. And the top records, actually, we got Phil Belichick, a game behind the number 6 seed, followed by MMT, who's also a game behind. And then we got the Kylers, Detroit or Nothing, and the Bread Hunters, who are 2 games behind, which they're not out of it.
No, it's 7 go.
Yeah, they still got action. So
because if you think about this, you just said earlier that you don't think 8 wins, 8 losses is gonna get you in. But if you 2-5, and if you could finish 5-2 out of your next 7 games, then you finish at that 7-7 mark.
Yeah, that'll put you on the brink. I'm looking for 8 wins. That's why I say that. 8. You get 8, you're in there. That's you jump over to that safe zone if you get 8. With teams already having 5 losses, it's with 7 to go. Really? I would dare to say those teams who got 5 losses with 7 to go would at least lose 2 more games. So 8 will lock you in.
This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say just avoid He Who Remains in the Mac of the Year. It's like as long as they're not on your schedule for the rest of the season, then you got a shot with everybody else. It seems. I'm just saying that's what it seems. That's what it look like.
Well, that'll pull bad for Detroit or nothing in that scenario, considering division Mount Everest division games are going to be the
Oh,
last 3 games of the season, so we're
Bill
going to have to run
Belichick.
back through that gauntlet. Yeah, Phil Belichick too. Well, they're 3-4. We were just speaking for
Oh, the
the
five. You
two
know,
and five teams. 3-4, you got a little bit more wiggle room. You got 3 games to go just to make it a 7-7. So you got one more above. You know, got your head a little bit better. Shit. Let's go ahead and man. Shit. Let's go ahead and put the cherry on top. Let's get into these games. Our week 8 matchups.
Mm.
We're gonna kick this shit off by starting with Ruben's rowdy team
Oh my God.
going against Mac's magnificent team. That's Mac Twin against Rube. Boy, they got it damn near 25-point difference, 26. 25-26. Ruben coming in after a loss. They're 4-3. They're looking to get back into the win column, and Mac Twin just trying to get in. Just I didn't mean bad, but he's just trying to get in. I'm gonna go ahead and go first because we document this shit. You know what I like to say. We coming in first of all before I put this on wax. I'm what did I say? I was a magnificent, tremendous 29-13
Yeah.
after 42 games, and you are 25-17 at the same time period. Let me bring this matchup up just so I can get a little bit because I do this shit. I don't pick before. I need to. I be having so much shit going on. I need to. I need to go ahead and get my shit together. But this is recency bias, so I'm going on what I can see right now. Matt got Brees Hall with a Q. He putting Chubb in. You spoke about Ladd. They go Ladd projected to get a 15 against Minnesota. 15 for DK. Kittle, will he show up this week? And he got Hollywood Brown at flex.
Mm.
Damn, look at him. Shit, flex Gainwell. You don't believe in Gainwell? You got Hollywood Brown over Gainwell
Yeah.
with Rasheed Rice, Worthy, and Kelsey
Yeah.
ahead of Brown. I see why you're on stuff. Look, you got to show me, man. I'm not giving out participation trophies or medals. You got to show me, man. So for that very reason, I'm gonna go ahead and get on record. I got Ruben to bounce back, man. They're gonna be 5-3, and beating Mac's magnificent team, and they're gonna be 0-8. Can you fucking believe that, man? He might not ever play this shit again. Come on back, baby. You gotta redeem yourself. What say you?
Man, I'm gonna make this one quick, man, because it deserves to be quick. Mac Twin will fall to 0-8. I've never heard of that before. Just like I ain't never heard of nobody. No, I've never heard of that before. So this is go. I feel like it's history in the making for me on both sides of the ball. The 7-0 and the 0-7. So for him, it's gonna be 0-8.
Yeah, that's short and sweet. We both agree on that, so we locked in on that one in particular. Let's go to Detroit or nothing, going against uh, the better team. We'll go ahead and get this out of the way early. Uh, Early projections have it 146 to 138. I know that there's going to be some additions that Otto has to make right now. They got 2 players out of line. They got a punter and a defensive back. If those players was in there, they would have a whole different projection. But that's not what we even speaking about or concerned about right now at this point. Um, we're gonna get it done because we're gonna get it done. I think we found a secret little sneaky link that's gonna be able to give us good production in Kylie Mungai. I think that's his name, Kylie Mungai.
The birds running
The
back.
Bears running back. There's a cue for a groin injury with Swift, so he may get a few more carries this week, and we're excited to have him in there with Spears. Hopefully, we can get with the production. Our scouting team is tremendous. Those guys stay up 24 hours a day, 365 days a year about this shit, man, about this football shit. And we just, we're excited about our receiving core. We revamped our receiving core. Uh, Look, man, we got some guys out this week, but so do they. Let me say that. So do they. Uh, it's not as if they don't have the horses. They got Mahomes. They do. They got Mahomes at a 27. That's ridiculous. We just got to get it done, and we're gonna find a way to get it done. Yeah, that's what we. That's what we're built on. We're gonna show up each and every time. This ain't the same roster as last week, even though we do have people missing. It's definitely not the same roster as the week prior to last week when we tremendously underperformed. Uh, we got some guys out there that's going to perform. They're going to show up. They're going to show out, and they're going to show it this Sunday, Monday, and we're going to come out to win. The better team is going to win. The better team won last week. The better team will win this week in week 8. Go ahead.
Let me say this.
Who you got?
Last week I picked against TB. I thought that they wasn't gonna get it done. They got it done. You know, this week I think that Detroit or nothing just has the stronger players, and I think that like you said, the little add-ons that they're gonna add on, that's not gonna be too much anything to be not worrying about, because it is a punter and a DB. So I'm not counting them as the people that I'm counting on to actually be the one going to beat the TBT. Because of punting and the DB, nah, they can add to it, but I don't see them being the ones. I see the ones being the ones are the strong players that I'm speaking about that they have in the lineup, starting with Patrick Mahomes. And I think that Detroit or nothing will pull it out this week.
Yeah, you gave me a heads up on that. I kind of knew you would do that. Knew you would say that. So, I expected it. You know, uh, but you picked against me last week and you took a L. So I anticipate the same thing will happen as we parted ways again once again this week. We move right along. We got Mac Twin.
No, we already did that one.
Oh yeah, damn. We got Phil Belichick going against Michael's monstrous team, who hasn't been as monstrous, and in this projection, they are not looking monstrous. You peed on my floor, dog. Oh my god, my puppy just peed on the floor. The early projections 158 to 131. They got MMT as down in this matchup. Let me go to. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you, and I'm gonna look at some.
I think Phil Belichick would not drop the ball this week like he did last week. He literally could have won the game last week with two logical replacements. Fields would not be in there. Luckily for him, they took it out of his hands because Tyrod Taylor gonna be starting. So he's forced not to start Fields. So we know Herbert will be in there, and I think that he has the stronger players, just like I was just speaking about Detroit or nothing. And I think the stronger players is what's going to do it and to propel Phil Belichick to victory over MMT this week. I think MMT, they like I said, they still having the struggles with Saquon Barkley and with Alvin Kamara. I think until that stop being the case, uh, they're gonna struggle putting up the necessary points that they need to get these victories.
Yeah, I second that. I agree with you on that point. Where's my camera? The camera don't duck me out. Uh, it moves. Yeah, I second that, man. I think Phil Belichick will right their ways. If not simply for all the calamities that are dealing with MMT, and they're dealing with a bunch. They still have to replace the linebacker. That's going to affect the scoring. But they got Kincaid in there. He's nicked up. They got Nico in there. He's nicked up. He was hurt last year. He missed some games on the knee injury. Kamara's getting up there in age. He's also questionable. Montgomery's not in the lineup. You know, they don't really have a deep bench. Waller's on IR, someone they counted on to be the tight end. Gave him a couple of good games and then gave way to Dalton Kincaid. Uh, I think Phil Belichick is going to be able to, get the shit back together this week and get back at 500, 4-4, and that's going to drop Michael's Monsters team MMT to 3-5, putting them on the brink.
Mm.
And yeah, that's the way I see it. Um, let's move on to this next matchup. It's Bread Hunter going against No Nuts, No Glory. A little too much. Not enough. There you go. Bread Hunter against No Nuts, No Glory. 165 to 154 is the early projections. No Nuts, No Glory smoked the. I mean, they didn't really smoke their opponent, but they've been playing really, really good. They've been playing really, really good. Bread Hunter is limping into this matchup. He's lost 3 in a row. I could see there is a path for Bread Hunter to win this matchup, but they're going to start. Of course, they're going to start Lamar Jackson. He's been out. They're going to try to get him back in there. They're hoping that he can get back in there. They're hoping that he can be who he's going to be. Uh, he's doing the same thing with McLaurin. I don't know if this is the final lineup, but they got a lot of Qs in this lineup. They're both coming in with 3 Qs. This may be a combined underperformance of both teams in there. But I got to get out of here with somebody. And although I would love for Bray Hunter to get this win, I'm gonna go ahead and stick with No Nuts, No Glory. Uh, yeah, I said I would love for Bray Hunter to get this win because that would bring No Nuts, No Glory to a third loss. And I'm not saying I'm praying for their downfall, but with them leading my division, it would be in my best interest if they would fall down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna say that, but I'm still gonna give them the nod for the simple fact they are the better team to this point, 5-2 to 2-5. I cannot see a reason why I would give a 2-5 team an edge over a 5-2 team. But what say you?
Well, I guess some people might say there ain't gonna be no secret. I'm going with Fred Hunt on this one. I
Mm-hmm.
think with Lamar Jackson being back in the fold, that's going to bring a breath of fresh air to the whole team. I think that Cam Scatterboo gonna do his thing. I think Keenan Allen has shown that the old man still got it, man. You know, I'm gonna go with Bread Hunter on this one, and I just think that they need to climb out of this hole.
Bad dog. Bad.
So I can
Bad, bad, bad.
performing
That one's bad.
need to, and possibly being saved by Lamar Jackson doing like a 40-point game or something like that. So I'm gonna go with Bread Hunt on this.
I mean, he's clearly capable and able to do exactly that. 40-point game, 30. I can see that happening. It's just if it's sometimes off that injury when you first come back in off that injury, you've been out 2-3 games, and sometimes take a little, especially with the muscle tear injuries. But that's it's neither here nor there. Where we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna go ahead and get into the Mac of the year going against Natural Born College. Natural Born College is coming in pretty close, 161 and 165. I mean, you can see a way that they could possibly get the upset. It would be an upset when you've lost 3 in a row going against a team who's won 6 in a row. who is 6-1, and you're poop putting and struggling along at 2-5. Um, they have a chance. Anyone in this league has a chance. I think. Um, although when you got C Mac on your team, you know, man, shit. I'm looking at this shit, man. I'm looking at it. He got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Okay, you know, Kyler Murray wouldn't have been my number one choice as my leader of my team anyway. He disagreed. I'm sure some other people in other leagues prior this year and last year probably disagreed, but you got Purdy, you got Murray. Quarterback situation is kind of shook up. You got Ayuk still on the bench, taking up a roster spot while he should be on IR so that you can bring somebody else in, anybody else in, maybe another quarterback. Maybe you got 4 quarterbacks on your roster. Who fucking knows? Whoop de do. Uh, it's hard for me to take the Kyler serious, man. After that debacle last week, that impotence, uh, ineptitude of not starting a kicker. You didn't do a homework to go get a fucking kicker.
Do they
It's
got a
like,
kick? Do they got a kick in there now?
I mean, yeah, he was off last week. Shit, he got to be activated this week. He kept the same guy in there. He didn't want to cut him. He was very fond of Eddie Pinero of San Francisco. That even though, oh wait,
No,
Pinero did not kick last week.
He played for the Mac.
Oh yeah. He played for the Mac. Tyler Loop. Oh yeah, excuse me. He was so fond of T Loop. I don't know why I call him Tyler. I don't even know if that's his name. It is Tyler. That is crazy. I didn't even know that. I just seen T Loop and said Tyler Loop. And I'd be damn, his name is Tyler Loop. That was amazing. He was so fond of Tyler Loop, he didn't even want to put another kicker in there. He just said, fuck it, he got a bye week. I don't even care. It ain't gonna make no difference. Your speaker went off. Damn. What happened? There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Now let me say this right here. I actually
I'm taking the Mac of the year. Go ahead.
Hold on, right quick. I wanna share this real quick with this cat. So he wanna. Man, and we on YouTube.
Yep. At the top of it. You got to put it all together. At the top of it. One word.
No. I'm subscribed. Remember?
No, I thought you were telling him, and I was just making sure
No,
you did it.
I'm just gonna send him the link to it. I'm gonna send him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook right now, live right now. Currently.
Okay. All right, man. All right, y'all. Let me say this. I already know who he was taking. I knew he was taking Mac of the year. So this is what happened. We got 2 separate picks already this week. So I'm 4 games back. So I'm gonna get those first 2 games I was telling y'all about. Now I'm gonna get this one right here because I'm taking NBK. This this, this is gonna be the 3rd game that I'm gonna snatch back from him. So I'm taking NBK because I feel like NBK has the best player in the game, which is
Over Chase.
I think C Mac. You just say you the score. You keep up with the scores. Who the leading scorer?
C Mac.
C Mac. So he the best player. So then I call it the LSU Bowl is what I call it. Jefferson against Chase. It's the LSU Bowl. So I think Jefferson haven't had a big game of late. I think that he's going to play and have a big game this week also. So I think that he will have his kicker and shit in there this week. And I think that MBK will get it done. And this will be the upset of the year.
Of the week, most
Almost,
definitely.
I feel like it's going to even be bigger than the upset that was just last week between Detroit and London and Coach Lewis. Because the Mac of the Year is on a fucking roll right now. They done scored 203 times out of the 7 games, and they're on a 6 game winning streak. So, and, and Tyler's on a 3 game losing streak. So this is going to be the biggest upset, in my opinion, the whole year so far. And I'm going with it in BK.
In fucking BK with the upset, knocking off the Mac of the Year. That is 2 weeks in a row you picked them to lose, and you have been wrong at least 1 week. You picked them more than that to lose, but you've been wrong this 1 week. Let me go ahead and get into the game of the week. Ain't no need in sense installing. Let's get into this shit. We have the game of this week, week 8 of
Yeah,
our short
but
season.
just call it how it is. It's the he who remains game because that's what it is. That's what the game of the week is. It's the he who remains game because I'm 7-0. I don't won every goddamn game, and since the second week of the season, all of those games, it's been all about he who remains. So let's just call it the he who remains
The
bowl.
he who remains, bro. Well, that's what we have. We have 7-0 going against 4-3. We have he who remains going against Coach Lewis. Early projections. Let me pull it up. There you go for y'all right there. The projections is 142 to 184.
Yeah.
Is that a typo?
No, that's not a typo. It was 182, but he's so desperate to want to beat me because of all of the players that I don't have that he went and dropped somebody else and picked somebody else up, and they'll fuck around and let him down. Because but he want the projection to be. That's what he want to win. He want to win in the projection. He don't want to win the game.
He is winning in the projections. I will say that. Uh, let's go ahead and break it down real quick. Then I'm gonna hand it to you, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna give you my pick. We got Bo Nix, Jonathan Taylor's the dog. They got Henry at 21, which
Mm-hmm.
is projected more than CD Lamb. So in his mind, they're looking good. I know it. He might be rushing Ibuka back. Is he? Is he not? He's projected to get 17 as a cube. It's a hamstring. He didn't look bad last week. We'll see.
He didn't look great neither.
He didn't. Quinn Johnson is flexed. I mean, the wide receiver 2. Ingram is his only tight end of significance. Dobbins, he's flexing Dobbins. And then, we're going to go into the defenses, what it is. I'm going to see what he's doing. Okay, he's benching Dobbs, and he's benching Vidal, the only running back for San Diego. He don't believe in Wendell Robinson. He traded for him, and he has an open bench spot. Interesting. Okay. On the other side, we got Love, Junkins, Hubbard, Pearsall. Might be a little rush. 8-9. Why? Oh, he don't got nothing else. He can't cut nothing, so he gotta go Pearsall. Whether Pearsall do good or not, he gotta go Pearsall. He don't want to cut anything. Everything he got, he want to keep. And listen to this, y'all. I should have took a picture of this so that we could put this up on the screen. He only has one person on his bench who's eligible this week. I've never seen that ever. So this shit gotta work, or it ain't gonna work. Got Gaston in there. Good pickup in the tight end. I think Gadsden is gonna be a good pickup. He's not gonna run double tight that often. But he shall use him for some type of form of trade bait. I do believe that. Roquan does not have a designation. Van
No.
Grinkle does, and Van Grinkle does not meet the requirements as he met last week, I assume he will just cut him and go grab somebody else. He has to do Campbell, which I need to look and see. Question by quadriceps. I don't think that's serious. He'll be all right. And he's going to try to play for the Kansas City defense. We'll see if he can get that or not. That's
Hey,
what he's
you
going to play
don't
for
put
this
that
week.
out there. You don't put that out there like that, man. You
I
tweet.
mean, it's already known, man. Come on, man. It's already known. Ain't
You
too
know
many
what I'm
people.
going out.
Who in front? Oh, excuse me. Take that out. My bad. Take that out. Cut. Like 6 or 7 months. Say, take that out. Cut. Take that out. Don't put that in there. Take that out. Yeah, just take it out, man. Don't just ignore that. Like I say, he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 niggas on the bench that is not even eligible. I'm gonna go ahead and get this man to float, man. How you gonna pull this out? They got you as underdog. It's looking like you're right for the feasting. Uh, why they got it wrong and why you know you gonna win? And
Look, let me say this. Let me say this. Uh, I'm down Gibbs. I'm down Karen Williams. I'm down Puka Nakua. I mean, when you just name those three players alone, and I'm gonna name them again for everybody out there in the fantasy football world that's watching inside the huddle right now. I said I'm down Gibbs. I said I'm down Kyron Williams, and I'm down Puka. Now, if I have them three players in there, you talking about that's 60 points, right? That's what they gonna be giving them on a projection scale. So if you add that 60 to what I got, which what I'm projected to get already, you talking about a 200 point game. But that's either here or there. Let me say this. Let me say this. This is the reason why we're gonna pull it out because his projections that they have for his squad this week, I feel like that they kind of inflated a little bit, but I'm cool with that because that gives false hope, gives somebody the thought that they actually can win and pull out a victory. But I think that once again, the GMing that I did all year long has been so stellar. I've had my fingers on the button every step of the way. And I think that's going to happen again this week. I picked up the tight end for the Chargers, Gatson, that has exploded the last 2 weeks. And he's going to continue to explode this week. I have Warren. Warren is going to explode this week. I have CD Lamb. I don't give a fuck. The coach come telling me CD Lamb playing the number one defense in the league against receivers in Denver. You don't give a fuck about that? Because guess what? CD Lamb don't give a fuck about that. So CD Lamb gonna do his thing and he gonna get a 20. You got Quinshawn Junkins. He's still there. People, I don't give a people act like they don't understand what he just did last week and what he been doing. He gonna get a 20. You add in Chuba Hubbard. He ain't gonna most likely get a 20, but I take that 15, 16, 17, and then we're gonna have Jordan Love that's gonna redeem himself from what he did last week. And you got to remember this: Flacco played Pittsburgh a week ago. You see what Flacco did to them niggas? Flacco went off. We talking about a 40 years old Flacco that been on the pine, then finally came back to the NFL, and he just lit the fuck up out of the Steelers. And the Steelers is playing now. Jordan Love, the young, healthy quarterback. He's gonna go over a 20. So I think my projections are extremely low, and I have the players that's gonna actually do what they need to do to prepare me to victory. And they're going to play, some might say above their skis, but to me, they just playing up to their capabilities of who they are. That's all they doing. They ain't doing nothing extra. Now, Jonathan Taylor been out of sight. He have. They playing Tennessee this week. So they projected him to do 30 plus or whatever. I don't think he getting a 30 this week. I think Jonathan should take. See, because when you gotta add up shit like this. If JT only end up getting a 22 or 24, then you talking about that 7, 8 points off his projection. So it's eight, that's 7, 8 points off that 40 points that they saying he got me on, and that's what's gonna happen. The points gonna continue to come down, gonna come down, and you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna have one or two niggas fuck around and bust a 30 ball. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. And people gonna say, "Whoa, whoa, did that nigga said that shit and it happened?" Man, we going to 8-0, man. We going to 8-motherfucking-0, and I just cannot wait. But I'm gonna say this: even if somehow the dog shine, dogs shine on the dog's ass every now and then. So even if somehow the rainbows is spitting out, and he goddamn me, and they found coach.
So I do shine on the dog's ass every now and again.
If the rainbow spitting out and they find coach, let me say this right here though. I just told y'all I'm without Gibbs. I'm without Kyra Williams. I'm without Puka. And this is but I can tell you this one thing. Coach gonna pound his chest and be happy over the moon that he beat me. But you know what? For me, 13-1 is beautiful, but 14-0 is better.
I see you preaching, but at 14-0, you talking to the locker room. I feel you. I would want to go for that shit too. Even one loss is tremendous. I mean, the best I've ever had was 11-3, so I don't even know what that era feels like up there.
Look. Think about this. Think about this. You know who I play next week? I play Max Magnificent Team.
Oh wow.
That's who I play.
What if you lost to a winless team?
say, Puka is
We're
back.
gonna have fun on next week's show as we lead up to that. We prelude to
Look,
that. Go
look,
ahead.
Puka. Look, the whole squad is back together next week. Everybody back together next week. Puka is back. Kyrie Williams gonna be back from the bye. Gibbs gonna be back from the bye. Now, as far as Campbell goes, he Roquan gonna let me know if he want to keep his starting job or not. Because fortunate enough for Roquan, he had really lost his job to Campbell, but he had got Wally pipped. But he is on a bye this week. Campbell is allowing Roquan to come back in and Wally pip him. So it all depends on how good Roquan played this week, is if he will be starting going forward or if Campbell will reassume the starting position that he took from Roquan after Roquan had been out. So, I mean, like you said, our team is like stacked all the way down to the IR positions. So we're gonna have to move out somebody here soon when I have to bring up like Puka off of IR because because Pearsall is not gonna be on IR anymore. So I'm gonna have to drop somebody though. Probably be the Rams defense. But yeah, man, I never even thought that I would carry the three tight ends like that, and I never thought that I would run a double tight end set. But I played a part in this also with all of the trades that I made. It
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
so because originally when I always looked down in week 8, I was straight because I had players to fill mostly all of those positions, those key significant positions. But I did so many trades and shit. But I'm all about the long haul, not today. So if I do have to lose this week because of Obama I'll accept that and move on to next week. And because like I said, uh, 13-1, 14-0 is better than 13-1, but I will definitely take 13-1.
I know you will. I know you will. Okay, you convinced me. I listened to your argument.
Look
Uh,
at him.
I'm convinced that you in denial, at least for this week. That's what, that's what I'm convinced of. I'm absolutely convinced that you're in denial. I think you're right for the picking this week, and fortunately for him, he does have the right kind of players
Mhm,
who are going to put up
mhm.
big production. I think Bo Nix is going to put up big production. I think he's going to throw a couple of touchdown passes to his number one receiver this week, uh, probably close to 100 yards or something similar to that. Although the Cowboys have been playing more man, so we'll see. Uh, but I think Bo Nix will have a big game. John Taylor's always going to have a big game. It doesn't matter who he go against. Henry against Chicago with Jack on the field, they do got something to prove. Henry's been getting money despite Jack not being there. Why would I think that with the defense making adjustments for Lamar Jackson that he wouldn't get a little bit more? Uh, I'm worried about Ibuka, that question mark there, but I just think that you got too many fresh faces in your lineup this week, and the underproduction that they projecting you to have. I think that you're going to live up to a lot of that underproduction. It's not for the simple fact that you don't have the horses or the talent. It's for the fact that you don't have your horses or your talent that
well,
you're used to in there this week,
well,
and
let me
that's
say
why.
this.
Go ahead.
Let me say this real quick. No, no, go ahead. You was about to give your pick. Go ahead and give your pick.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and get my pick for that reason. I'm going to take Coach to get the upset, and I do call this an upset, and it's not even really close. There's only one or two teams in this league who can beat you, and it would not be considered an upset at this point. At this
Look,
point,
look. You call it an upset when you just said my bench is full of everybody on a bye except for one player. But you call it an upset. And guess what? He
hold
got his
on,
he got his full arsenal going against me. Do he or do he not?
hold on, y'all. It's not called an upset because of who's on the field. It's called an upset because when they write the history books, they will say a 4-3 team went against a 7-0 team. They would not get into the specifics of the dynamics of what's going on this particular day. All they will rate is a 4-3 team beat an undefeated team. That's all it would read. And for that simple fact, it is considered an upset because you're expected to figure it out. You're expected to win even when you don't put up your production. You're expected to continue to win. When you say 14-0 or 13-1, that means that you are saying you're going to win every game until you play the MAC of the year and you're going to lose to them. But whoop they do, because you beat them before, so and they're a good team. They put up 300, 200 3 times. So that's what you're gonna say. It's already set up for the argument. But I
Well,
like I
hold on,
say,
hold on.
I
I don't plan on losing to the Mac of the year at all this year. What are you talking
okay,
about?
okay. Well, when you say 13-1, are you saying that you're losing the coach? Or are you
I'm
saying that
saying,
you're losing the
I'm
MAC of the
saying,
year?
I'm
Or are you
saying,
saying that you're gonna lose to somebody else unbeknownst to you?
no, I'm saying this is the only week I have a shot at losing. And you know what? The whole fucking league knows that. It ain't just me know it. The whole league know it. When
But before you
when
go,
Draco was talking the
before you
other
keep
day,
going on, you did say 13-1, right?
yeah, and I'm talking about.
So you're saying that you are possibly going to lose to who?
I'm saying I said this is the only week that I have an opportunity of losing, and I'm saying everybody knows.
Okay, and I picked them to beat you. So you agreeing with me in sorts.
What I'm what I'm saying is this is the only week I have a shot at losing. This is the only week, and so you have the right to pick them. I agree with that. They got a 40-point projection on me. You have the right to say there's no fucking way that he can make up a 40-point
Yeah,
projection.
they do got it. They do right there. It's clear 184 to 142, and you're not putting nobody else in. Everybody you got in, that's who playing, right?
Well, no, well, the
Oh, beside the
defense I'm
defense,
saying gonna
beside
probably
the
be an 8
defense,
or something like that. So I'm
beside the
trying to get
defense.
150.
So you're going with three defenses in your lineup. You so hoarding of defenses. You gonna not cut two defenses that's on one or the other defense that's on the bye week, and you're just gonna add another defense and then cut. You gotta cut somebody. You're not
No, I
telling me.
don't.
Hold on, wait. So you telling me next week you possibly gonna roll into next week with three defenses on your roster?
Yeah.
Hell no. Hell no.
What I'm telling you is this right here. This is what I'm telling you. Uh, uh, I don't plan on cutting the Rams or the Seahawks defense. That's what I'm saying. So
The Chiefs
so
is a good defense. I
huh?
don't know how they got me so low on the motherfucking me waiver wire. They try to keep me below you because you always on top of my picks, man. You know what I'm saying? You just announced who you getting anyway, so don't blame me. But anyway, carry
I
on.
didn't. I didn't even look. Look. I never even said who I was getting.
Right.
So what are you talking about? I just said that. I said I'm not cutting the Rams or the Seahawks. That's what I said. I didn't ever say who I would pick it up. But let
True.
me say this.
I did though.
Yeah, you did. You did. So I mean, look. More than likely, I'm thinking I'm not gonna get them though. I'm thinking somebody else for the fuck up is gonna pick them up. I couldn't even believe he dropped them when I seen that. I was like, wow, man, he must be trying to be like me and have his fingers on the button. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know if that's the right. I don't know if that was the right button though. When you
oh
ain't got Jaden Daniels or receivers.
I look, it's so beautiful. It's set up, man. And you on the road too.
I'm saying though, they got to go to Kansas City with that bullshit.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, he got a better record than me, so I can't tell him. Who am I?
But I will say this though. Everybody, look, the whole league is picking Lewis this week. I believe the whole league
Wait. Where you get that from? You did a poll?
no, I'm saying when you
You
see
just assume
when you
because
no 40-point projection. Who would go and lay money if this was Vegas? Who would lay money down on my team?
you're undefeated. There's somebody that bet money on your team. What you saying? You undefeated.
It
Is
ain't the
somebody gonna roll with that?
it ain't the
That
undefeated team. It ain't the undefeated team in there though.
look, somebody's gonna roll with the irresistible force combined with the unmovable object.
But what I'm saying is that it's not the undefeated team ain't in there.
They got your name on it.
But the team ain't in there. The
But your
players not
name,
in there.
they represent you. I'm looking at he who remains. I'm not looking at the players. I'm looking right here. It says he who remains is 7-0.
This nigga
That's
trying
what it says.
this nigga trying to
HWR,
he
the
trying
juggernaut, the
he
man
trying
in the
to
high castle.
look, y'all. He trying to fix the narrative. He trying to fix the narrative. But let me say this also, y'all. Like I say, if I lose this week, you know what? I will be 7-1, and guess what? I'm still the only one to beat the Mac of the year.
Thus far. Yeah. They got a game this week, and then they got another game next week, and another game, and another game. So thus far, yeah, you are the only team who has beat the Mac of the year. Yeah, like I said, I got Coach Lewis. Coach Lewis, if you hear me, if you tune in, if you check this shit out, man. I know it's a long show. We went 2 hours and 13 minutes and counting right now, and we still got some a little scrapes and shit, man. I'm gonna scrape the bowl. And they gonna get the last little piece of the weed, and I'll put all that in there. You know what I'm saying? We'll put all that in there. We ain't gonna leave it. All the last of it going in there. You gotta know it. You know what I'm saying? Right now. Uh, yeah, I got Lewis, man. So that's what it is. Let's running back for those who we both took Ruben's Riley team over Mac. I took the better team. He took Detroit or nothing. Blasphemy. We both took Phil Belichick to win. I took NNG. Of course, he's gonna take his son. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I won't get nothing about that. Oh, I took the Mac of the year. He took little bro. Okay, we'll see. And of course, he's gonna take himself, and I took Lewis.
And
So
guess
that's
what? Those 4 games gonna bring me right back to tied with you.
that's why I went against you. As you know, I've been going with you pretty much all year. Um,
Because guess
but I
what?
want to give you a chance for separation, or me a chance to separate from you
Look now.
further.
What it is you know the goddamn truth. You even went with me when I was playing you. See what you is you not a damn fool. You see that all of my players are sitting on the bench, so you know. Oh nah, he ain't gonna be able to get it done this week. That's what you're saying in your mind because everybody is on the bench. If them niggas was in the lineup, you would be picking with me again. So it's cool. I already know. I already know.
Look. I picked you because you even though I did predict a avalanche of a underproduction from you, which stood correct. What I neglected to see is that the squad I put out there wasn't even able to get to 150, which is really like let's keep it a B. Before we get out of here, let's just keep it a B. 150 is really like the lowest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That ain't like it, you say, oh, I put up 150. You be like, oh yeah, I had 150 out of 200. Yeah, that's good. But nah, that's really low. You really, if you win scoring 150 or anything lower than that, you had a good matchup,
yeah,
and
yeah,
matchups matter.
yeah. Exactly,
Matchups matter in this league.
exactly.
So yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that, man. Because this is a scoring league. We high scoring. We get bonuses for awards for extraordinary play in the
Yeah,
league. All around the field, defense, offense, all that shit, man. So what is normal in generic leagues can turn out to be a tremendous performance inside the huddle. So that's with that, man. So yeah, man, it's a great show. I don't even know what time it is. I gotta get up out of here.
yeah.
3:48. Before I go, I want to introduce y'all to somebody y'all probably saw him earlier. This is Bear. Uh, this is a Cane Corso.
Oh shit, them motherfuckers get huge.
Yeah, he's only 6 weeks old right now. He don't even got his teeth in yet. They just barely coming in. Yeah, he's still on the bottle. I got him. This is my dream, one of my dream dogs. It was so crazy how I ended up with this dog. I just so happened to pull up to the smoke shop on 27th Ave, and I jump out, and I don't want to disrespectful, but she definitely was a tweaker because she ain't really had no teeth, and the
Oh,
teeth that she had was rotted out, right? And she was with this other dude, but they had this big ass fucking massive, big ass cane Corso, right? And I could
yeah,
clearly see what it was, and I instantly love these dogs, right? So it was right there, and they was like, "Oh, he's friendly. He's only 5 months." And it was big as fuck. His paws look like bird paws.
yeah. Those are big ass dogs, man.
and she said, "Oh, I got some puppies. We got puppies." So she pulls out a puppy, right? And
Yeah,
she shows me the fucking puppy, and the puppy's gorgeous. And she's like, they're only like 5-6 months, 5-6 weeks, not months, 5-6 weeks old. They're still on the mother's tit. Da, 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 da. And I said, okay, damn, how much you want for that? You selling that? She's like, yeah, I'm selling. And she's like, this is a girl. And I'm like, I don't want no fucking girl. But how much you want? She said 600. So I'm like, 600.
that's
Dang,
a great
that's a
ass
good price.
deal.
That's a good. Now listen, that's a good deal. But me being who I am,
Come on now.
I want
Come
a
on
great
now.
deal.
I'll give you 300. I'll give you 300.
Hold on. I go in, so I just walk off because she said it was a girl. They didn't have a boy with them. I go in the smoke shop. I'm getting me some raps and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to her talk to this other dude, and he's trying to get it, but I don't hear no pricing going on. You know what I'm saying? So I just take care of my business. As I'm taking care of my business, her dude who has the other 5-month-old big ass master, or just walking out the door at the same time. So as she walking out, I said, "You'll take 200?"
Oh, come on, man. Get the
She said,
fuck out of
"Yeah."
here, man.
She said, "Yeah, I'll take 200." I said,
Get the
"You
fuck
take
out of here,
200?"
man.
I said, "Look, I want a boy." She said, "I got a great boy at the house." I said, "Okay, where you stay at?" She said, "I stay up this way." I said, "Okay, cool." They were like, "Can she ride with you?" I said, "Hell yeah, she can ride with me." You know what I'm saying? I know she tweaked out or whatever, but that's her business. That ain't my business. I don't judge it. You know, shit. You got to do what you got to do. So we ride over there. She come out and she come out with Bear, and she was like, "Actually, I don't have a gray boy because I wanted a black one." I was really disappointed when she said gray. She said, "I got this boy who's black." I said, "Give it to me." Here, I looked at him. Said, "Yep, that's him." Gave it 200, and I sped off. I could have took. I had a dog. I had
Hold
the
on.
dog in my hand. If I was a low down dirty motherfucker, which I ain't, I could have just left. I didn't have to get the $200,
Hold
but I
on.
ain't
Hold
like
on.
that.
You know where she lives still?
Yeah, I know what she did.
Let me
She got a
let me
girl.
let me send you 200 to get that girl.
I'd have to pull up on. She told me that's funny. She said her door number's 106. I ain't gonna tell you
I
about what word,
understand,
but she told me
man.
her number was 106. But yeah, I mean, if I went over there and she had it, I'll do that. I'll do it for you. I
Hell
get it.
yeah.
You gotta
Hell
come get it. You can't ship no dog.
yeah.
But yeah,
Nah,
this is my newest addition to my family. I always wanted a cane corso. I just so happened to bump into the. It was a tremendous. It's a story made in heaven. I promise, because there is nowhere I would have seen or been able to be in and got that dog for $200.
nigga, cane corsos cost thousands, nigga.
I know they do. I know
That's
they
why
do.
that's why
And
when
I
you said
seen
that,
it for myself. I said, "Ooh, I don't.
that's
That's a
why when
lick."
you said that, all I'm sitting here thinking to myself is that, hold the fuck on. He didn't want the girl. I'll take the girl. That's a breeder. I would take her ass.
Yeah, I want the boy because they're gonna get bigger and he gonna match his name, Burr. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna name him Kane, but as I was asleep last night, just Burr came to mind because I just want him to be like a black Burr. I just want him to be
This
like,
a big ass dog, man. Some big ass dogs.
Are you a midget? Jacob 4. Yeah, to a person that's taller than me. Uh, or a little person, my bad. Yeah, to a person that's taller than me. Yeah. And what you trying to say?
That nigga said, "Oh, a little person, my bad." What the hell, my bad?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to a person that's taller than me. I am. They would consider me that. In their mind, they wouldn't say it out loud like you wouldn't. But we ain't gonna have to get into all that, you know. Nah, it ain't your fault. You know, you wanna be content. You wanna be out there. Go ahead, get out there, baby. You can tune in every week and you can crack your little jokes.
Yeah.
I know you got more than that. You know what I'm saying?
While you're here, Jacob,
We're
folks,
here every week, every Wednesday,
hit the
1 p.m.
subscribe button.
Yeah, definitely do that. You talk your shit. Come talk your shit. 12-man redraft. Had PPR, two flex, May, Bijan, Dardell. Dardell is a flash in the pan. CD, Ibuka, Auden. Nope, not Auden. Bill, Golden, bench, Genty, bench. How you gonna fuck? You got Genty on the bench,
That's
and
what
you got
I'm like.
Dardell in there. Come on, man, you lost me right there. I
No,
ain't taking you serious no more.
I'm saying, he had a pretty damn good ass redraft though.
Nah, that's a cool redraft. Why you got Genty on the bench though over Dardell? You convinced Dardell is him?
Yeah,
He said, so do I pick up Caleb Williams, Fanning, or Theo Johnson? Caleb Williams.
Yeah. Hold on. Did he have a tight end on it?
He didn't have a tight end. He had two. He didn't have a tight end. He had Otten. Yeah, he did. He had Otten.
Okay,
He had Otten. Yeah.
mm. I mean,
I have a LN open roster spot. What is LN? N open? Whatever.
oh, he just
It's
got it.
the
It's the bye week. Yeah,
of.
it's
Let me bring you
Bamageddon
down.
week for me too, my nigga. It's Bamageddon, man. I don't know if I'm gonna survive, but I'm sure gonna try. But shit, I'm 7-0 though, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's a lot of people ain't playing this week. That's one thing about when you're drafting. You got to kind of like be mindful who all got the same bye week because that'll do you dirty. Yeah,
Unless you 7-0.
like you are. One open roster spot. Okay, that's what you meant to say. No
Okay,
typo. Oh, that's
so
cool.
so
So let's go back. Let's go back to who he say he got one open roster spot. So okay, based off this, who are you considering flexing as far as who you considering starting on the flex and who you? I can see who you got on the bench. First off, I think I'd say Genty anyway.
hi, look,
JSN, wait.
JSN on the
Man,
bench,
come on, man. What the fuck
but
are you
JSN
doing?
on the bye this week. JSN on the bye this week.
Oh, okay. All right. I did. I can feel that. Okay, that's okay. I was going to say.
Yeah, he on the.
Uh, looking at your shit, real talk. Cause I mean, you gotta start odding because you ain't got no other tight end. Uh, I don't know why you ain't go pick up San Diego tight end. I don't know what's that about.
But why he want to pick up Caleb Williams when he got Drake May?
Yeah, I start Drake May. I ain't fuck Caleb Williams,
I mean,
brother. You think I'm benching the wide receiver one? Right. No, we caught that. I was slipping. That was on me. And Genty. I don't know. I think I just paid Genty. He said Caleb just for the bye week. Okay, I can feel that. That's what I did with golf. I had golf this past bye week when Josh wasn't playing, and then I cut his ass this week. I thought I was gonna keep him until he gave me a 12. I'm like, never mind. I can find 12 anywhere. Let
well,
somebody else have golf.
I mean, depending on how deep your league is, uh, like how they cover quarterbacks. Uh, he said Fanning and Theo Johnson or Caleb. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
uh, I probably, you know what, on the cool, I probably would take a fly on the tight end, because you might can find a quarterback that's on the bench for just that 1 week because he got a pretty deep team. So for that 1 week, I'm pretty sure Spencer Rattler's still out there. I'm pretty sure like Carson Wentz and the type of motherfuckers are still out there. So technically, Fanning can be for the long haul for you. If Auden don't come through, then you'll have Fanning to fall back on. But but picking Caleb Williams up just for that 1 week, shit. Just last week he didn't do shit.
He say on Theo, that's kind of what I was thinking. Same thing what you said on Theo. So he said Fanning or Theo. Oh, he said wait before he got to that. He said gonna play Auden this week regardless because he plays Seattle. Then
Yeah.
he said Fanning over Theo. I'll take Fanning over Theo for the simple fact that I think Fanning is more talented than Theo, and Jackson Dart gonna run way more than Gabriel gonna run. That's what I think about that.
Yeah, I think Fanning gonna be the safety blanket for Dylan Gabriel, or even when Shador Sanders get in there and started. But and they gonna rookie quarterbacks always look for the tight ends first. You know what I'm saying? Because that's their safety blanket. So if Odd is your only tight end, you definitely should say not be thinking about getting no quarterback, and you should be trying to have a backup tight end because ain't just no guy that you can guarantee and write in stone that he gonna be there and give you the numbers that you looking for every week.
Nah, it's facts. I had him on my roster at one point. I had to cut him. He
He
wasn't
said
giving me
he
no production.
say the Browns let Shador go to a real team. Look, Shador is going. The Browns got another game this week, and then they on a bye week. And the whole talk around Cleveland is that's going to be when they're going to be getting Shador ready to go. So all Shador wants is his opportunity to be able to play and to showcase his skills, whether it's with the Browns or with any other team, because it's only 32 roster spots as starter in the National Football League. So
They can't cut Shador because they reason why they can't cut
no, he
Shador.
said no. He was talking about. What he say? Cut him, or what you talking about? Like the? I
And
thought
you say go to another team. He's not going to another team.
he talking
So
about
to
trade.
trade or trade cut anything like that, they can't do. They can't do none of that. They can't do none of that for the simple fact that he's their number two. They ain't, who is that? They don't got no other quarterback. Why
Well,
would you trade
they,
him
they,
and you ain't never ever seen what he did? That would be totally irresponsible.
now that would be irresponsible, but they got a guy on the practice squad. That used to be in the league. Played a few games. I think they Frappy or some shit like that. They probably pronouncing it wrong, but yeah, he think Miami should try to get Shador. You, um, you know what? I bet Shador would fucking love it if he was able to be the starter down there in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Even if Reek wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? He got competent players around him, like Waddle at least. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he would love that. But I think that I think he about to be the starter in Cleveland, man.
Yeah, he
Fire
said
the
fire
coach.
the coach and rebuild. Get Shador, fire the coach and rebuild.
Yeah, yeah.
He said should do a fifth round pick for Tua. Plus a fifth trade for Shador and a fifth round pick for Tua.
Look, the
What
Browns.
what but wait, what the Browns do that though?
No, because the Browns just dismantled Tua. So they seen up close that, like, people. You know what? I would have never thought this, but now everybody's kind of having the thought that Tua is a backup quarterback in the league now. They don't think that he's a true starter. So
He with the talent he's had wide receiver wise and even running back wise, yeah, because you should have did more with that. And maybe he would have if he ain't had 37 concussions.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but it is what it is, man. Man, that shit pay a toll. You keep hitting your head. It might not be totally his fault, but the fact is, numbers don't lie. It's about the numbers. And if you ain't putting the numbers up and the statistics up and the number one number, you don't give a damn how many yards you throw for or don't throw for. The number one number is wins.
yeah.
If you ain't getting the wins, then you ain't in.
Wow.
That's it. That's all. One concussion was taking Forrest talking like Forrest Gump. He funny a bit.
You know what? Tua really on the cool. I'm surprised that he lasted this long. I thought he would have retired for health reasons, but I mean he's showing that he is a competitor. You know what I'm saying? Trying to stay in there and getting beat up and shit on that sorry team. So
You say get beat up. That's all right, too. Nah, that's fact. Uh, man, I don't give a damn about Miami. Forgive me if you for Miami, man. I don't give a damn about Miami. But I will say this: if you couldn't win with Tyreek Hill, then you just ain't gonna be able to win. You ain't gonna get too many good receivers like Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was special in his time. He probably finna go the ways of Antonio Brown because he's in the same kind of mode. But if you couldn't win with him, then you just ain't it. I don't know. He got like a wind up and his arm ain't that strong. So it's kind of like take a little while to get the pass off. And it's left-handed. So it's already coming off what most people is not used to. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Most people in this world are right-handed. That's that ain't for no reason. Let me
Yeah,
just say that.
yeah. I think they were saying the other day on this Cleveland show I was
What?
watching that 88% of the world is right-handed.
Yeah, that's what I say. That has to be for a reason. I mean, less than I don't know the exact number, but I'm gonna say less than 10% of the world is definitely even-handed. It's like 22% that's left-handed, I think, or something like that. He said, should I pick up Jake Tongues to handcuff George Kittle? I had Jake Tongues. I flipped him. I took him and another player, Kenneth Gainwell, and flipped him for uh Cortland. Cortland Sutton.
So when you say pick him up to handcuff Kittle,
What does
like
that mean?
yeah, like it sound like he's saying he worked for the Niners or something.
Yeah, I don't understand what that means in fantasy football. Jacob said, hell no. He says plenty tight ends on the waiver. I don't know what
Yeah.
league. I don't know what league y'all in, but it ain't plenty in our league, and we only got 12 players. So, uh, ambidextrous. Yeah, that's the word. If Kittle get hurt,
Oh
can
yeah, yeah. If Kittle get
yes,
hurt, look,
yes, yes,
if you
yes. That's
if you
what
don't
I.
get if you, look, all I'm saying is if you got enough room on your bench to stash him, just in case Kittles do get hurt again, yeah. But don't just use up a roster spot for no reason.
Yeah, yeah. I would say not for the simple fact that you can wait a week. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you got fab money in your league. I'm assuming you do. Most people are going to be hesitant going into that next week to pick them up and spend that fab money. So if I was you, I'll be have my finger on the trigger going into the next week if killers do get hurt and just spend the fab money. In our league, you got to be already slotted. So if you ain't been picking up crazy people, you'll be towards the top of the waiver wire. And then yeah, go grab them. You know what I'm saying? Next question, but bruh, best waivers on tight end of Jawan Johnson and Mason Taylor in the 12 man. I'd go with Mason Taylor over Jawan Johnson. That's what I would do. I think that Tyron Taylor would throw to Mason Taylor because they ain't really. I mean, Garrett Wilson is out, and even if he coming back, I don't think that Tyron Taylor can hit him on his on 60% of his routes that
So
he's gonna run.
look, my question is: are you doing this like for 1 week because you need a tight end, or are you looking for these people to be your mainstay going forward?
Yeah, he can't be talking about mainstay tight end. If you talking about if you scraping the bucket, the bottom of the bucket at mainstay tight ends between Jawan Johnson, Mason Taylor, and Tongues, just pick the best one and just say fuck it and get
You
out the
know,
way.
maybe originally he had Kittles as his starter. Then when he went down,
No, I think he do got Kittles. But I'm
yeah.
saying you can't be trying to over, you know what I'm saying? Just pick one of them niggas and get out and it is what it is and run with it. Kittles, I know Kittles got you a 0.0 if you got Kittles, but you got to understand, don't rush people who've had injuries right back into the lineup thinking they gonna give you the production. Go grab you somebody else just to get some numbers. Any numbers is worth more than no numbers. You had Kittle had 0.0. That's
And
disastrous.
and while you're here, go ahead and subscribe, my guy. Subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, fuck with us, man. Yeah, so and so you know, because every week we do this shit, man. So we like the interaction with the questions and shit. We play this fantasy shit for real. We are the commissioners and inside the huddle, man. Hey, man, maybe y'all come in our league next year. You know what I'm saying? So just tap in, keep coming in, man. You might get a invite. You know what I'm saying? And we might grow the lead to 16 next year. You know, because guaranteed one thing I know for sure, it's gonna be another year of fantasy football
And
next
what
year
is
in
this? What is this?
2026.
Sir Chuck 1, 2.
Yo, what is that? I gotta get
on,
it
on,
closer.
on, on a flex pick where
One,
he
two. Yeah, the
say
seconds. No,
Jay
it's a
Warren.
chunk. It's a chunk one. The second. That's
Oh,
what it
okay,
is.
okay. He say flex one pick, one of them. Jay Warren, D Swift, or Shakir.
I'm gonna take Swift. Warren is a close second, but I'm gonna take Swift. Shakir is a distant third. What
Yeah,
say you?
I think I'll agree with you on that one right there in that same order. Swift, Warren, Shakir. I
Mm-hmm.
think I think Swift is almost a guaranteed like person that's gonna get you some numbers every week. He ain't gonna have too many down games. Shakur, he wouldn't even be an option if somebody told me I could get Swift or Warren. He wouldn't even be in a conversation.
Let me tell you why I say Swift. Because when Hurts is passing the ball, Swift is gonna get more separation in his routes than
No, hold on, no,
what
no,
you than AJ.
no.
Swift is gonna get more separation. Listen, hold
No,
on. Let me finish. Let me finish.
talking about the
Let me.
wrong player. You talking about
No,
that?
but listen. I know what I'm saying. Hold on. Let me set it up. I ain't. Let me finish the setup. I'm saying Hurts is not that prolific of a
I'm
passer.
saying you talking about the wrong team. He not talking about no Devontae Smith.
Oh, he talking about Swift. Oh,
Swift played
Warren
for the
Swift.
Browns.
Oh, I'm tripping. Yeah, I did. I am talking about the wrong player. You're right. I think it's Smith. My shit a little bit blurry. Okay, my bad. My bad. Uh, no, I go in the order you got it in. In that case, I changed my mind. I go Warren, Swift, and Shakir. I misread that. Warren, Swift, and Shakir. Reason why I say that is because Swift has a growing injury. He has a Q by his name, and the Mungali dude got some burn this past week. I think Ben Johnson is just as inclined to not overwork Swift so that he does have Swift later in the year because he know he's gonna need him. And the Magali is gonna get a little bit more burn than he got last week. For that reason, I think Warren, who is clearly the number one, is your number one starter. I think I almost think Shakir should be second. Now
Man,
that I reread that.
bro,
Only
Swift
reason
been
why I say
having a
that.
few by his name the last 2 weeks.
Hold on. Only reason why I say that is because uh Dalton Kincaid is still not is coming off an injury. Dalton Knox is not that caliber of a tight end he was 2-3 years ago. Coleman has not lived up to the number one wide receiver designation. Palmer also was chipped up. So by default, Khalil Shakir is gonna get some targets.
But he
Mark
ain't
my word.
hit the whole year. You talk like
I'm
Swift
saying Swift got a growing injury. He might not
been having
be a
he
hundred
been
percent.
having what I'm saying is Swift been having a Q that he been questionable the last
Oh
two
yeah,
weeks.
yes, yes.
So I'm saying I think he just gonna carry a designation every week. Is what I'm saying. They do that
Okay,
sometimes with players. I
but
think he
it's
gonna.
different. But it's different injuries. That's what made me kind of raise my eyebrow. I was like,
Oh,
he had something else. He
so
had
it's a
something else
different injury.
earlier. Yeah, it's different. It wasn't a growing earlier in the year.
No, it wasn't a groin. So
Yeah,
now if it's a different injury, then that might be different. But
that just give me a cause for pause. I'm not saying that I fuck with Swift. Swift been getting money. I'm
so
just getting a cause for pause because they got a different little injury
I'm still
growing.
I'm gonna still
Anybody who have you had have you had when you playing football or most athletic, have you ever had a growing injury? Because I have. That shit different. That shit different. That's all I'm saying. That shit different. As far as running and doing all that, yeah, you can do it, but you're gonna pay for it a little bit. It's gonna sting. It's gonna hurt a little bit. For real, for real.
No, I think
You ready to eat?
I think
I got
Warren
chicken.
splitting time with Gainwell and shit. So like I don't
So
think
you sticking with Swift, Warren, and Shakir? I
yeah
misread it. I'm gonna
I,
say Warren, Swift, and Shakir by 9, but I think Shakir might get a little burn this week.
Shakir, look, what Josh Allen
Shakir might get a touchdown this week
what Josh Allen is doing for the Bills, it need to be studied because he got the sorriest down receiving core in the whole league
in the
now.
whole league.
And this nigga and his he just continues to put up numbers like they somebody. I mean,
Superman.
it need to be studied how good he is.
He's
Shit.
Superman. Well, shit, man. Y'all go ahead and subscribe, man. Tap in with us, lock us in for the notifications, so y'all know when we go live. We go live each and every week, and now we have our Sunday show, which we just kicked off. So the first half of football, we would go longer than that. Maybe we will later on in the productions. You know what I'm saying? But right now we're gonna go live the first block of games and give it to y'all live how our league is doing. You know what I'm saying? Who's doing what in that first half? Who's looking good? Who's looking bad? And how niggas is feeling. Obviously, we're gonna report on our teams individually. Anybody's more than invited to come through, especially through our league. We encourage the comments, shit talking, trolling, negative, all that shit, man. Just make sure you subscribe while you do it, man, so you can come through every week and do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't just do it one off. You know what I'm saying? Come with your best shit, man. Have all the shit you want to say. Kick your shit. Call your partner. Have them come kick their shit. Y'all laugh. Everybody laugh. Post it. You know what I'm saying? Make it go viral if you want to. If that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But just tune in at the top of it. Present inside the huddle. He who remains the better team. I got a feeling this might be what you might see at the end, but we still got to get to that. You know what I'm saying? We working. I know I'm gonna be there. He say he gonna be there. I have no reason to doubt him. Thus far, 7 games in. So yeah, man, we're gonna see about this shit though. You know what I'm saying? Me. 25-21 St. Clair, man. The 12500 block BTU 007, man. You know, South Dallas or nowhere else. You understand me? And we out.